What is wrong with you?
There you go. There you go.
What's wrong with you? You need a laptop?
All right, and is this thing on?
She takes up a lot of space.
I know, both of
You're
them.
on.
Most people lose weight in this, and I'm not used to.
We're gonna start this meeting?
All right.
Start.
The time is 6:40. I'm going to call our meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Ray?
Here.
Mr. Cadonis?
I'm here.
Mr. Ferrucci?
Here.
Ms. Oscar-Sierra?
Here.
Ms. DeLeon?
Here.
Also present is myself, Stacy Werkheiser, Township Manager, Mr. Finnegan, Township Engineer, Brian Cucker, and Zoning Officer, Tyler Mitch, and our Solicitor, Mr. Gadzizian.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, can you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand for the
Flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you for standing. Standing a little late. Standing a little late. They hesitated.
Okay, so I'm going to announce that we did meet in executive session. That's why we had a little bit of a late start here. And Steve's going to review the items, the various items that we discussed.
There were 3 separate real estate matters that were discussed. Council gave direction to the solicitor as to how to proceed in each of them. No official action was taken. There was also an employee personnel matter that was discussed. No official action was taken.
Okay. And for the public comment procedure, we have 2 separate times when the public may speak during the meeting. First one, actually for both of them, there's a 3-minute time limit. You come up to the podium in the center of the room there and speak. If multiple people want to speak, if you can line up when the first person's finishing up so that it moves along smoothly, that would be helpful. Direct your comments to the council up here, and it's not a Q&A session, it's just your comment period. We have no presentations or hearings, and our first item that we will be starting with is 4A, developer item.
I believe we have.
Well, it doesn't have it on, is the agenda?
We did public comment.
Okay, sorry. Public comment, sorry about that. Have anybody, this would be for any of the agenda items.
Investigation.
Is it on? Okay. All right, my name is Drew Germanowski. I'm here to comment on agenda item E, a discussion of possibly removing Russell Sutton from the EAC. I'm on the EAC and I want to comment on Mr. Sutton's contributions to the EAC. He's an associate member of the committee and a member of the Open Space Subcommittee. Mr. Sutton's an active and dedicated member of the EAC. He attends all the meetings, he shows up to and contributes to our efforts outside of the regular meetings, including roadside cleanups, meetings of countywide EAC committees, scoring open space sites, and our sponsored events such as recycling events. When one of our members had to step aside temporarily for health reasons, Russell stepped in as our representative on the County Climate Action Plan Committee. He attends those meetings and reports back to EAC. I know that one of the issues that you'll hear about tonight is Mr. Sutton's removal of dead and dying ash trees on his property, thanks to the scourge of the emerald ash borer, in order to place solar panels on his property and reduce his carbon footprint. I believe the other ordinance related allegations relate to this solar panel project, which I think is a good one. I can't speak to the details of all of it because I don't know them. Also, Mr. Sutton's, was cited Mr. Sutton's anti-landfill stance and activity is cited as a reason for his removal. The landfill is a blight on this township and threatens groundwater and surface water. It has multiple negative atmospheric impacts associated with fugitive gases. It's unsightly. The trucks track soil onto Apple Butter Road, and trash blows out of the trucks into the township. Completely destroys the landscape under its footprint. Any person with an environmental ethos should be anti-landfill. This is especially true of the plan to expand the landfill and destroy 247 acres of land having significant ecological and hydrological value. Russell's been a diligent and contributing member of the EAC. He belongs on the EAC. I urge council to sustain his membership on the EAC. Thank you for your attention.
Is he attending this meeting? Is he here tonight?
And do we have more public comment?
No, he's not. I guess he attends all the meetings, but this one.
Anybody else for agenda items?
All right, I'm Dave Boulan, and I'm here to talk about things in general because we only have 3 minutes. By the way, I don't agree with the previous commentator. I think Mr. Sutton has absolutely torched the idea that you have to have certain permits to do certain things, and he knows better because previous to that, there was somebody in here who was complaining about, so shame on him, ought to go. 43 days since the last council meeting, and now it's 34 more days till the next one. Yet we're facing an agenda here that has something like 20 odd items. This is going to be one of these till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I find that really offensive, as a matter of fact. Agenda has been last updated at 5 p.m. on Monday, so we had 2 more items. Not that they were important items to add, they were just the financials for the last 2 months. Only 17 pages for anybody that is interested in good government and no, I'm not running for it. But, so why are we adding these things at the last minute? That's bad news. That's bad management. 19 items on the agenda, including those important ones. The zoning one is here. It's going to affect everybody in this area. I'm absolutely surprised that more people have not turned out here.
They didn't send a letter out.
I'm sorry, let me finish here and then we can talk. Okay, 19 pages of technical reports, really good. I like that. I like to see the 9 variances that they're requesting to put in 21 families over here on, and I think it's 8 acres. I may be wrong on that. Old Philly rural pipe. A very time-consuming, lengthy hearing with potentially endless things, and yet here it's stuck on this agenda after taking all this time off for gosh only knows what. Don't like that a bit. 12 sets of council meeting minutes, 12 sets of meeting minutes to review, and you're just gonna all just approve them. Well, I think some of you will, I know others will not. Taxpayer has 3 minutes, that'd be me, to talk about all of these items. Hey, isn't that great? Shut them down, don't let the people talk, all right? And yet we were told that the honesty and integrity of the Democrats would allow everybody sufficient time to talk about everything. Not happening. By the way, they don't answer any questions, very rarely do they, to be fair. Important updates one day before the meeting, and yet we're gonna have 43 days between meetings. The Fulton Bank thing is a joke. How do you have something like 15 or 20 accounts, and you have 4 people on it? You have Lynn Hill, you have Opdor Gadara, you have DeLeon, and you don't have, for instance, Jay Finnegan, who's independent. You do not have something like your financial services expert on it. You need to have at least 2 or more, or you end up like Hellertown with all their problems. All right. The diligent thing is another question, and that is, why are we spending another $6,000? We still have the board docs. That's more of a question than anything else. Thank you.
All right. Do we have other
My
public
understanding, they
comment?
didn't send a letter out to address some of your concerns. My understanding, they didn't send a letter out to the neighbors here notifying them about the meeting tonight. I talked to one who said he didn't receive a letter about the meeting tonight. He found out about it last minute and cannot attend. There's that. As far as the financials, they obviously release them on Mondays. The Democrats don't want anybody to look at them to really see what this landfill, what closing the landfill would do.
Okay, do we have other public comments?
There's a lot of that stuff going on. They're hiding. They're like I said, they're in bed with Hellertown. We'll talk about
Do we
that
have
later.
public comment?
And
Tom?
but thank you for your comments, Mr. Boulan. Don't
Public
the law
comment.
losses.
I think it's important everybody knows.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Thank you for speaking.
They won't tell anybody.
Thank you. They won't. They try and hide it. Here we go.
Rosemec, Lower Saucon. Well, I'll give the previous two people credit on several points. Can't disagree with them, I know that. But my statement goes to removing Russell Sutton from the EAC for his, I'm not sure what you want to call it.
Violating zoning laws or regulations?
That's what I would call it.
Our township ordinances?
Okay, Tom, this is public comment, not yours.
He's just trying to
ahead,
help
Mark.
the speaker.
How can I say this? If Mr. Panonis is so concerned about Russell Sutton, but he's unconcerned about his own behavior, because we know he's a liar. You lied in court, you lied
Here
to
we go.
warrant,
Here we go. Okay, sir.
you lied to the judge, corrupted the district attorney, you corrupted the township, and you corrupted, Barn, unless you teamed all in it together. So you should be the one removed from council.
Okay.
You should, and you know it.
You're using your time, sir. You want to keep talking about me, go ahead. But you can talk about your criminal background, whatever you want to talk about. It's your
My
time.
criminal
Remember when you ran
background,
over that
Whatever.
guy and killed him?
criminal background's
Remember when you
fine. I
ran over
haven't
that
had
guy
a
and
criminal
killed him?
background.
Tom.
You were drunk?
Several years.
It's your clock, sir. I'm not. Whatever you choose to talk about, it's your time. Use it
I don't know,
wisely. Use it wisely.
I didn't
My
get to go
suggestion, use
through
it
this.
wisely.
I was busy with other things.
It's not your time.
I'm just telling, this gentleman's talking.
No, I know the other complaint I got is the new township website needs some doctoring.
Well, Laura's the
repairs.
IT expert out here. She's Miss IT. She knows a lot about IT.
Fixing up on items.
They hid their email addresses.
Yeah. Now you can't get their email addresses.
You gotta fill out a form if you want to email a Democrat in council.
No,
Transparency, openness.
no. Let me fill in my name here, just in case anybody cares, But you should put in a complaint about yourself and remove yourself from council and do the township a favor.
Yeah, I've done a lot of favors.
That
so
was,
don't worry.
that was an enlightening 2 minutes. Thank you. 2 minutes,
See,
15
you still
seconds.
have
Do we
time.
have other public
Still 40
You
comments?
still have 43 seconds. Enlightening. Thanks. Thank you. We're all stupider for what you said.
Never get that time back.
Anne Marie Slavic, Lower Saucon Township. Nice to see you all.
Good to
Nice
see you.
too.
Hope you're having a great summer.
Yeah, happy summer.
This is,
So I just want to make a comment in reference to Russ Sutton for all the things that were said about him, of him knowing everything that has to do with environmental issues. He really should have known better. That's my comment. It's really an arrogance. That's what it is. It's, I can do whatever I want, and you can't do anything. I think that Victoria had commented on some zoning issues last meeting about the people that want to build the house on their property, that we have rules in this township for a reason. We have standards, don't we? Zoning standards, isn't that what you said?
2 sets.
Two
But I have
sets.
yet to hear anybody on the Democrat side on council criticize Russ Sutton for what he did. He made a mess, environmentally speaking, with all we had the flooding a few nights ago from the rains. I can just imagine what the flooding is over there on that property, because the trees aren't there to soak it up.
Oh, that's a landfill's fault. They'll blame the landfill for everything.
Yep, it's always the landfill's
It's always
fault.
the landfill's fault.
What's everybody gonna do when the garbage is laying all over the ground? When people just throw garbage out of their cars? What
Philadelphia.
is everybody gonna do then?
Look at Philadelphia.
I also have an issue with F, reimbursement of insurance deductible to Solicitor Gaduzian. If Solicitor Gaduzian, which is the definition of a solicitor, is to keep the township out of lawsuits, I do believe that's one of his job descriptions. Alleged Sunshine Violation Act. Why are we reimbursing him for his insurance for that? If he committed the violation, allegedly, why are we paying him for that?
Not only that, he's doing other legal work right now on his laptop.
I'm sure he is, because he never pays attention.
But he has billed the
Anyway, I
township
would like to have a
$106,000.
solicitor for this township that actually makes sure that the people on the council don't violate anything that brings us more lawsuits. That would be really great. That's my recommendation. Also, my recommendation would be to just be careful of the way that things look to the outsiders and the citizens of this township in reference to bank accounts that someone's going to be writing checks on, that only one person has to sign a check. We know what's going on in
In
Hellertown.
Hellertown all the
We know
time.
what's going on in
Why not do it
Hellertown.
here? Why have two eyes on the money?
Hellertown and
Just sign.
all their Democratic friends in Hellertown, all Priscilla.
According to the form, it's only one signature. Did you know that?
Fraud.
Did you know that, Priscilla?
We have a resolution in the beginning.
Oh, now
of the
you
year
wont
that
gavel her. You
authorizes
won't gavel
two
her. It's public
signatures.
comment.
Do your
Because the
homework.
form says one.
Look that
I'm
up.
just going by what the form
Why won't
says.
you gavel her?
I'm just telling you that's what the form says. So you might want to check your own forms when you
Just pay
fill
your
them out.
taxes. Don't worry about it. Just pay your taxes.
Fill your forms out and you sign a document, make sure you know what's in the document.
One more time, Priscilla interrupted.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Excellent.
Other public comment?
Over under on the gavel is 45 and a half. She's already got 30.
I got mine
All right.
over. Take the over.
45 and a half.
Seeing none, so we're going to move on to developer item 4A, the EDU allocation request for Martin Minor subdivision at 3677 Hickory Hill Road. Do we have anybody here to speak on this? I'm going to say no.
I can explain it.
Can I be recognized real quick?
Sure.
I just, we have our monthly water authority meeting. So, of course, I spoke with them about that yesterday at their monthly public meeting. And there's no issues as it relates to the water authority with respect to the request for the EDUs. They just, the one thing would be conditioned upon getting all of their necessary approvals from the water authority. They're setting up an escrow.
They can't proceed with their planning module until council actually allocates the 4 EDUs.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Put together a draft motion very similar to the last 2 allocations that you approved. And you have that with,
Okay, sure.
with those 5 conditions.
Perfect.
do you want to make the motion, Victoria, then, since you went through?
Hold on, I gotta bring up the motion.
What's the motion again?
I don't have the motion in front of me. so-
Okay, well,
Come on, we're on a meeting.
motion,
The motion to approve the allocation of 4 EDUs for the Martin Minor subdivision located at 3677 Hickory Hill Road.
What?
and this would be based upon the conditions
Based upon the 5 conditions.
being met. Okay, I'll second that.
I'd like to hear from Brian.
So would I, since he is an engineer and these
Yeah,
ladies are
I
not.
want to hear from a real engineer,
He just gave his
not 3
response.
Democratic clowns.
This theSubdivision is just across the street, basically from Cherrywood, where we did the paving and the swales last year. And there's a house on it now. They're creating 2 building lots, extending the sewer and water to serve the new lots and I believe the existing homes as well. They're still working out those details. And the subdivision is before the planning commission, has been before the planning commission, and should be in front of council.
Great question.
Capacity, I don't see any issues with allocating the 4.
And that goes to the map that was created.
Well, it's not specific, the property isn't specifically called out on the map, but in general, that area is supposed to
As a
get
s-
public sewer.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have comment from anybody up here on council?
I have a question. So they're going to be connected to public water and public sewer. Will they also be connected to storm water sewers, stormwater management systems? And the reason I ask that is because on Hickory Hill Road, oftentimes when you go by at the exit of Pleasant Drive, there's always a lot of standing water in several of the properties that are there that back up to the Woodfield development. And I'm wondering, is this going to be addressed through, and I understand EDUs doesn't pertain necessarily to that, but I'm just wondering, has that also been looked at in any way?
They have designed stormwater management facilities to contain the stormwater that they're going to generate. And they're back and forth between their office and our office now.
Okay.
So that'll be finalized before it comes to council.
Were any Were any residents notified of this, that this should be on the agenda tonight with a letter, Jay? With a letter?
Customarily, EDUs do not get notified to adjoining property owners, and in the last 3 or 4 that I looked at on the board docs, the minutes, the applicant usually doesn't appear. It's based on the engineer's input and the same conditions that are outlined for this individual tonight.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
What's gonna happen here is 3 new homes, correct?
2 new ones.
2 new homes, I'm sorry, 2 new
Right,
homes.
there's one there.
Well, I wonder where that trash is gonna go. Where is that trash gonna go? To the landfill, or are they gonna keep it on their property? Anybody know that? Maybe
Laura, I don't have any
Priscilla's
comments.
house. Send it to Priscilla's house.
Have any comment on this
Trash.
topic?
No, thank you.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Yes.
Ms. Aptoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carucci?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
It's 5-0.
Unanimous.
All right. 5A is the zoning hearing board application for VAR 06-25 for One More Steel City LLC at 3679 Old Philadelphia Pike. It's property ID Q6SW2-3-14, and guess you guys can all introduce yourselves and review this plan since it's been a little bit.
So, Jay, can you clarify if a letter went out to any residents regarding this being on the agenda tonight?
Not that the township would be aware of, and it's not.
What do you mean not aware? I mean, the township either sent one or they didn't.
No.
So the township did not send a letter to residents in the old Philadelphia Pike area. I'm not asking you, I'm asking Jay, shut up. So Jay, the township did not send a letter to residents in the old Philadelphia Pike area about this being on the agenda tonight?
No, because it's not a public hearing or it's a request.
So we didn't notify, so that the people aren't here during the summer and vacation time is not surprising. And the township did nothing, the Democrats in the majority did nothing to notify
Tom,
residents.
on page
Okay.
5 of the submission, there's a
fine.
whole page designated toward addresses
That's fine.
that were notified.
The people I talked to were not notified.
Page 5,
Before we get started, just so we're clear as to
they get
what this
notified
is.
before the zoning hearing board.
That's not for here. That's
It's not for here.
But they
It'd be on the
notified
agenda.
what's
understand
going
the
on.
difference. They're two
Should be on the agenda.
Recognizing Steve, so if everybody else could,
We're not a
Well,
zoning
she
hearing board, are we?
misrepresented what it was.
Are
It
we a
was for the
zoning- we're
zoning
not a
hearing
zoning
board.
hearing board. I
We're
think
not a
it's- I think
zoning
we're on
hearing board, and
council.
that's what
So what's before the township
Victoria was
council
talking
right
about.
now?
That's right, it's not zoning, right, Steve?
What's before the township council right now is whether township council wants to provide a recommendation or otherwise to the zoning hearing board. To be clear, when the matter is placed before the zoning hearing board, that is actually a public hearing. Notice then has to be provided, bless you, in accordance with the rules with regard to the neighboring individuals and to provide them notice. So the applicant will have to comply with that at the appropriate time.
So as I said, there's
When
nothing
this
that would have
happens-
presented,
when
there's nothing,
this
that's not
happens
what have
before
prevented them
Township Council,
from.
It is not a
doing it.
public hearing, and therefore, special notice is not sent to
Right.
neighboring individuals or parcels.
It's not required to be sent, you can send it as a courtesy, which you didn't.
you never did either,
Which you
Tom.
didn't, which
The
you
appropriate
didn't,
time to
which you
turn it
didn't.
over to the applicant to
You can
provide
do it
us
as a
back.
courtesy.
Steve,
Whenever
may I ask
ready.
you a question, Steve? Steve, may I ask you a question as the township solicitor?
You send it.
So we will have a vote this evening, right? As council, we will be voting on whether to say yay, nay, or no position, correct?
You will have a vote today to indicate what steps, if any, you want to take with regard to the zoning application.
Right, which may be yay, nay, or no position, correct?
Or it could be all sorts of other things.
It could be, I understand that. So the fact that we are going to be taking official public action tonight, and there's been no notice that's been provided to the neighboring property owners, that's correct?
There's no specific notice, meaning letters aren't sent to them. Notice is provided to the municipality and the neighbors in accordance with the public notice of the agenda items and so on and so forth.
And the
Just
notice-
like,
and the notice-
pardon me, just like the other items, for example, A, B, C, D, all the way through.
All right. So the notice, are you done? May I speak now? I ask you a question? So the notice that will be provided to them will be after this council perhaps takes official action, yay, nay, or no position, or something else. And at that point, the township council's position will already be stated for the zoning hearing board without the public having the opportunity to comment on this and perhaps influence the votes of township council, their elected officials.
No. The public has the ability to be here. The public has been provided notice, and anyone from the public can, and various individuals from the public came and spoke about agenda items.
So the notice
answer is
that
no.
So the notice that the public got was noticed through the township website, which if you want to contact your elected representative, you have to fill out a form to get their email address.
And they got it on Friday.
Right.
Right.
And you got this on Friday.
So the fact of the matter is, the township and the Democrats on the majority here, and the applicant, could have insisted that letters be sent to the neighboring residents that would be affected by this with traffic and other things, but they chose not to. They didn't want the public. The Democrats didn't want the public here, the applicant didn't want the public here tonight, and that's why they weren't provided with letters about this being on the agenda tonight.
Please do show us all the times that you did that in your time here.
It's not customary.
Okay.
We've
No,
never done it before.
it's customary,
I
it's
know.
not required, it's not required. Right,
never
right,
is
and you'll do the
done.
bare minimum, We know,
It's not
Mr.
customary,
Urso.
and it's
You'll do
never
the
been
bare
done by
minimum,
this
Mr. Urso,
township.
we
I don't
know.
know why we'd be creating a
We
new
know.
precedent.
Got any pictures of that
to do a
Saucon
lot of
Town?
other things and jump through hoops. I don't know why we would be doing that. It's not
Okay.
something we've ever done.
Just let the developer get started. Introduce yourselves as you speak so we know who's who and go through.
Is that on?
That definitely was not on.
That's too soft.
I thought when you put it down, it was up. My apologies. Kate Durso, Fitzpatrick, Lenz, and Buba.
Hi, I'm Chris Brown with Brown Design Corp.
And I'm Phil Malich with the applicant.
Thank you.
So when we were last here a couple months ago, we had presented as a proposed potential alternative development for the subject property to be townhouses as opposed to garden apartments. We got feedback from council and direction to proceed with that concept plan for submission to the township to get feedback both from Brian's office as it related to what relief would be needed, as well as trying to incorporate into the plan a number of the items that we discussed at that meeting. That meeting was at least according to my notes, in February. As a result of that, we have submitted a zoning application that shows townhouses, and I'll let Chris go in a little bit more detail on the proposal.
All right, thank you, Kate. I think we did share a preview at the last meeting, so it really hasn't changed much from the initial concept that we presented. But just a quick recap on the property. It's 8.3 acres, just a little bit greater than that. It's located in the Village Center District. One of the reasons why we keep coming back and trying to refine our project and work with the township is because there's over 5.5 acres of natural resources that basically run right down the middle of the property, which makes, any type of development, whether by right or with some relief, a little bit challenging. So following the encouragement that we got with regard to the townhouse concept, we studied the township ordinance, and it appeared that the best route to go would be under the cluster development option. And so we use that in the evolution of this design in terms of lot area, density, and the general layout to come up with what we're presenting tonight, and which is part of our zoning application, which is 21 townhomes, attached residential units, situated in accordance with all other requirements of the township dimensionally as remunerated in the application. But it is serviced by 2 private driveways that interface with Old Philadelphia Pike. One of the driveways being situated directly in alignment with the existing driveway to the municipal campus, and the other driveway is specifically situated to be within the prescribed offsets from all other adjacent driveways. So by the nature of the alignment with the campus driveway from the municipal complex, it leaves us a little short in terms of separation with the auxiliary driveway for the township-owned garage across the street, which is already in sort of a non-compliant configuration with the campus driveway. So we felt that was the most appropriate alignment, and that's one of our relief requests is an interpretation on whether that accessory garage and its driveway constitutes the right separation requirements. But otherwise, other refinements to the plan as we identified an area within the open space. It's shown on the open space plan to sort of celebrate a little bit of the history and heritage of the site, where we propose to put in historical markers and perhaps reuse materials maybe from the home in the process. The parking has been bolstered to show 4 parking spaces per unit as opposed to the required 3. We've heard time and time again with our previous designs that you guys are concerned about, providing additional parking for visitors, guests, and so forth. So we've provided additional parking, and we've situated that with our stormwater management components to sort of combine what little disturbance we are asking for in terms of an exception, an additional 2% of the overall allowable disturbance in the riparian buffer. So we combined those extra overflow parking spaces with our stormwater areas to sort of, make best use of this disturbance variance that we're asking for. By the nature of proposing townhouses and in the configuration that we show, we feel like it's a better outcome for the township, because instead of having what could be essentially 21 driveways entering onto Old Philadelphia Pike, we're handling them with private access driveways built to private driveway standards that access the units from the rear. By accessing the townhome from the rear and still providing some backyard personal space for the townhouses, we chose to go with detached garages. And if you imagine a detached garage on any other property is typically surrounded by ample side yards and property around it. One of the relief items on our list has to do with the proximity of these detached garages, which become accessory structures by nature of the fact that they're detached. Because they're associated with attached housing, townhouses, it's virtually impossible to put those into a configuration that's compliant with the side yard setback for the accessory structure. So we believe that there's, actually sort of an absence of accommodation in the ordinance to some degree that would address a detached garage for an attached housing style unit. So, so that's the reason for one of the relief requirements there. We're still maintaining that that 2/3 of the site will remain undeveloped and permanently restricted from development, and that would be the whole area on the opposite side of the tributary and all of the remaining natural resources that are otherwise protected by requirement. I'd like to point out that the one relief is asking for the cluster development to be allowed at 8.3 acres when a 10-acre requirement is in the ordinance. And I just want to point out that while that seems like, perhaps a big variance, the option as it's applied to the project would actually enable 48 units to be developed on this lot by the density calculation. We're only proposing 21 units. Clearly shows that we're not abusing the relief that we're requesting with this consideration for the cluster development option here, where essentially 45% of what would otherwise be allowed. So there's no abuse of the relief that's being requested. It just allows for a housing type that makes development sensible on this otherwise challenging piece of property.
And as Chris mentioned, and as was discussed at the last meeting, the bulk of this site to the south would be in a conservation easement, which was something that we talked about at length when we were last here. So we're happy to answer any other questions that anybody might have.
Questions. Laura, can I be recognized?
Yes, go ahead, Victoria.
Thank you. I appreciate that we've put on the historical marker. I just was hopeful you could give some more information on what the size of the marker that you're proposing is, and whether or not there's gonna be any walking path or some kind of access for people to look at it. Not just the townhome owner that's closest or something, but something that people could come and see.
Sure. Stacy, could you please forward to the last page in the file? Yes. So in meeting the open space requirements, which I'm happy to say that we meet 75% where otherwise 60% is required. We're actually showing and proposing 75% of the open space. The portion of usable open space is the dark green section up to the left as you're looking at the screen, left of unit 21. And there's a small box there that quite honestly is just a placeholder for now. And that we view this as something that we would like to work with the township, whether there's a committee or a commission or one of the factions that might be appropriate for us to work with to create some sort of a kiosk. And we show in the corner page, I don't know if you have these on your screens, but in the corner of this drawing, there are a couple visual examples of similar type. Stacy, I don't know if you can pan down to the lower right-hand corner maybe. I forget exactly where it is, but on the page, yeah, just below that detail.
Oh, okay. Missed that, sorry.
I mean, just three of many different varieties that it could be. And we are proposing sidewalk along Old Philadelphia Pike, so certainly a direct walkway connection from the sidewalk could lead you right to this kiosk. And maybe it would include a bench, maybe it would include, a picnic table or something. That corner is really the only meaningful area for any sort of open space. That's why everything's sort of taking place there.
Okay, so the idea is that the sidewalk would lead to some kind of walking path, and then you would work with our historical committee or whoever we designate to help design it. And it could include a bench along with the kiosk that in some kind of fashion similar to what you're showing. Okay. I like that idea, and I think I would be in favor of at least telling the zoning hearing board that that's something that we'd want to see if they were inclined to do anything. I do want to hear from our zoning what their position is on the requests.
Okay, but before we go there, can we have a question with the historic thing?
Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that we get from, I don't yield the floor, but I would like, I don't want to, if we're talking about historical markers, maybe it's, it's okay, Priscilla.
I can wait, that's no problem.
Okay.
What are you referring to? What do you want to know?
So do you have, what's your position on the request for the variances?
Well, the requests for the variances, I think that the township should be opposed to a few of them, especially their request for the interpretations. I wrote about that in length in the memo, that some of the things that they're requesting interpretations on, such as the riparian buffer zone, the underground facilities that they want to construct, they're going to have to, when they're operating in the buffer zone, they'll have to remove a significant portion of that zone of the foliage, the trees, the roots, whatever, and bringing it back to that standard that it was before is going to take decades, even if it's not something permanent like a parking lot or something like that. It's going to take a long time to get it back to that standard. So I think the township should be opposed to an interpretation in that manner. And it's also important that allowing for opinions and interpretations by the zoning hearing board to pass unopposed will set precedent for allowing them in the future. So the township should, in these cases, be opposed to at least the interpretations, if not some of the requests as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say.
Victoria's ready to roll over though.
I would just say that many times there's interpretations that are given that are fact-specific based on the application that's before them, which is not a precedential ruling from the zoning hearing board. It's based on the facts there. And any of the instances where we ask for interpretations, we ask for variance relief in the alternative. And Chris, if you can.
Yeah, I failed to mention, and I wanted to pick up on this because, I think that in many ways, I can understand where the zoning officer's interpretation of the riparian buffer in particular is coming from, but I just wanted to point out and remind everybody that, that there's virtually no riparian buffer there other than a dimensional boundary. You know, there's no, this property's been mowed grass and field for the last, you know, as long as you can find on Google Earth, you know, looking back, this property has been mowed. So there's not really trees and foliage that's going to be displaced by any of this activity. And in fact, the plan includes and is required to include by ordinance riparian planting. So we're actually going to plant trees and shrubs and riparian plants that aren't there today, as opposed to disturbing ones that are. So I can understand the concern if this was a really high quality riparian forest, but it's not. And I just wanted to just mention that. You know, so I think, and also, and I think I brought this up last time, that the amount of area that we're talking about relative to the percentage that we're allowed to disturb is probably equal to about this room in terms of footprint. We're not talking acres and acres. We're talking, I think it was like 1,400 square feet.
Is he accurate on that?
On which part? On
The square feet.
I'd have to look more at the plan to know that.
I yield for now.
May I go?
All right, Jason, yes?
This is a well thought out plan. I see that you've put a lot of time and effort into it. I'm pretty clear you guys want to be good neighbors, right?
Yes.
All right. So if you want to be good neighbors, did you contact by mail or phone Lower Saucon Authority about tonight's meeting? Tonight's meeting, Lower Saucon Authority.
Lower Saucon Authority?
Yes.
No, we did not.
All right. Did you contact Lawrence Rigi?
So we were directed pursuant to.
Yeah, ask you a question. Did you contact Lawrence Rigi? It's a yes or no question.
I can answer the question how I feel.
Yeah.
But
please answer it.
We have specific direction in the MPC that we're required to send the public notices a certain amount of days prior to the zoning hearing board taking place. So we did not send to any of this.
The answer is no. You can't.
I don't want to explain it because it's not required, and you're making it out like it is a requirement. And Jason, you know it's not a requirement.
I asked you, do you want to be good neighbors? And you said yes.
Yes, this is being good neighbors. We think the development is being good neighbors. Why is sending a notice meaning good neighbors? The development itself, we
Kate. I'm going
believe.
to ask you the questions I want to ask you, and you can choose to answer them however you want, but I'm going to ask them until you answer them to my satisfaction. Okay? So that's the way this is going to go. Did you contact...
Laura,
Did
just
you
a point of
contact
order.
Dunn
Can
Manning
we just
Realty?
keep this from being an interrogation?
No.
I mean, I'm not going to sit through a
Contact
3-hour
Larry or
deposition.
Kelly
I'm not going to
Frable?
do that.
No.
Did you contact William or Donna Brown?
It's just a point of order for
Did
you,
you
Laura.
contact Jose Luis
I'm going to interrupt too.
Perez? Did you contact Christopher Shelbo?
She's not the
Did you
witness.
contact 3672 Route 378 Associates?
No.
Did you contact, well, you're One More Steel City, so you wouldn't have to contact yourselves. Did you contact Timothy Rosengrant? Did you contact Virginia Stingline?
Okay, let's not go one by one through this list. It's a waste of time. No. They were not contacted, Jason. That was already established.
Vivian Miller.
No.
Move on. Do you have other relevant questions?
He's asking relevant questions.
Did you contact
They're not
Keystone
relevant
Automotive?
questions. And we all know they're not
They are,
relevant
because you said you want to be a good neighbor.
We are being good neighbors. by
Okay.
purposes
To
of-
move on, then we move on to a different
Do you
council
have
person.
other questions?
I want to ask you another question.
You're not in charge of anything, you blonde donkey.
You mentioned on this plan here, on this application,
Uncalled for
that the
time.
purpose of this, would you stop interrupting me, Laura?
Lost.
The buildings and improvements to be provided, residential dwelling, detached garage, in-ground swimming pool. I don't remember an in-ground swimming pool being on any prior plans. Is an in-ground swimming pool being proposed here?
No in-ground.
Well, it says here on the,
Here already.
it says here on the variant 06-25, it's been received by the township June 24, 2025. It says specifically, it identifies the owner as One More Steel City, identifies the address of the property, 3679 Old Philadelphia Pike, Village Center. Tax parcel ID is listed here. On the second page, residential dwelling, describe the buildings and other improvements.
I said that the property currently contains a single-family home garage, and I probably put a pool by accident. That we're not proposing a pool
I see. Thank you for that clarification.
There is a pool on site.
on site,
Yeah.
yes.
Have you looked at any issues now? There's a waterway that goes down through the center of this property, right?
I'm sorry?
There's a waterway that goes down through the center of this property, right? There's a water concourse of some type.
Within the area identified on the map.
Goes down the property, right. And we've
I
already
wouldn't-
talked
I
about in
wouldn't call it
prior
a
meetings, we've already
waterway.
talked in prior meetings about the flooding issues that occur in the area of Black River Road and Route 378. So it appears to me, can we agree that there's a high water table in this area? You shook your head yes. You'd agree with that?
That's a fair assumption.
All right. Have you done any analysis on the effect of that water table on the properties that you're going to be, the buildings that you're going to be putting in there?
No, but that's something that would certainly be undertaken as we will work through the due diligence for the project.
Okay. There are also sinkholes that are prevalent in the Lehigh Valley. Have you done any investigation for sinkholes?
Not yet. That would be part of our due diligence as the project would move forward.
All right. Now, I know we had Drew Germanowski was here from the EAC because he wanted to speak on behalf of Russ Sutton, who's on the EAC. Has EAC weighed in on any of this? I mean, you're taking a largely undeveloped parcel of land that's 8.05 acres and proposing to put on it how many units?
21.
21? Yes. 21 units. Have they weighed in on this?
Based on my notes from the last council meeting, there was a motion to forward the application, not by us, to the EAC and the Historical Commission.
Okay. Have you participated in any EAC meetings?
I have not.
Okay, so they haven't done their job in looking at this.
I can't answer that question.
How long ago was it that you were here?
I
4
don't
months
know.
ago, 5
I don't
months
know
ago?
when it would have occurred. I do know that we did get comments that were forwarded to us from the Historical Commission, and perhaps there was some from the EAC, and I can't recall off the top of my head, but I know that we received comments that we discussed last time from the Historical Commission.
We've had a lot of meetings. When were you in here last time, if you can recall?
My notes reflect that it was in February.
February, so 5 months ago. And you haven't heard anything from EAC in the past 5 months?
But I don't know whether the intent was for them to get this further, like when we were doing the land development. I don't recall in specifics, except that there was talk about the walking feature that we just talked about, and the monument, and for the Historical Commission comments to be given to us, which were given to us since the last time, and then potential for the plan to ultimately be forwarded to the EAC.
All right, number 15 of the application here, zoning application, it says the following: the nature of the unique circumstances and the unnecessary hardship justifying this request for a variance is the property contains unique physical and topographical conditions that disproportionately limit the ability to develop. Additional testimony will be provided at the time of the hearing. What's the additional testimony that you anticipate providing at the hearing?
Specifics on the actual, so when you do your application, you don't put the entire testimony that you're going to present through your witnesses. And so the witnesses will explain the specific features that are set forth on the property.
I'm asking you, what are you anticipating that testimony will be? I'd like to hear it, because you're asking us to take a position on this. I'd like to know what you intend to present.
So I would be asking Chris questions to confirm the features specific to the property, the whatever.
What features? Give me some details here. I understand you're going to ask these people questions.
An example would be, Mr. Brown, what features are located on the property that provide this property to be unique as compared to the other properties that are located along Old Philadelphia Pike?
Thank you, Mr. That's the question I'm trying to get at. I'd like to know that for my decision.
Yeah, so
He's trying to remain professional, Mr. Urson.
the property is encumbered by numerous natural resources that are specified in the zoning ordinance, with relating setbacks and disturbance limitations. Those include wetlands, riparian buffers, waters and streams of the Commonwealth, woodlands, steep slopes, woodlands with steep slopes, and I think that's about all.
I would also ask him follow-up questions for him to identify.
I don't know if he's done answering.
Yeah, no, that's.
He went back to a plan and he was coming back.
I was just looking, and I covered them all. Those are, and the fact that they run down the middle of the property, and, their offsets are prescribed dimensionally in the ordinance, makes this a particularly challenging property with regard to those requirements.
So those are the topographical features that you believe create a hardship for you?
Not topographical, those are more the natural features. Topography is not necessarily
Physical
synonymous.
Features. We call them physical features?
Physical, yeah. Natural features is really what it comes down to.
All right. We can agree that the property has a single-family home on it, correct?
Yes.
And the property was able to have a single-family home on it with these physical and topographical features, correct?
That is correct, but that is not the burden at the zoning hearing board, because it's not a use variance that's being requested.
I understand.
And a use variance application would have to show that the property couldn't otherwise be put to a use that was otherwise permitted in the zoning ordinance.
I understand. So When you say disproportionately limit, what does that mean? Does that mean that the developer can't max out the property to squeeze every square inch of development and profit out of it? Is that what that means?
It disproportionately limits it because the area of developable is along the front and along the rear, and it's disproportionate. It's also disproportionate given the swath that goes through the center of it.
Disproportionate to what?
Disproportionate to the other properties that are along Old Philadelphia Pike that don't have the same types of features and the developable area that's left. And we certainly are not maximizing the site because Mr. Brown just testified to the fact that, well, didn't testify because it's not a public hearing, just spoke about what could be on here if the true density that's allowed under this zoning ordinance and for this property were presented, which was what, Chris, almost twice?
Yeah, it was over twice. 48 units are allowed based on the calculation density of the developable area of this property, and we're only proposing 21 units.
All right. So let me ask you about this historical marker. This historical marker, what are you putting up a historical marker for?
Is in response to the feedback that we received at the last meeting about paying some homage to the history of the existing structure and prior families on this property.
What was that? What's the historical part of it? Remind me.
I believe when we were here before, and I don't have the historic report in front of me, but something along the lines of it potentially having been a spot along the Underground Railroad.
Okay.
And that there was information provided that did that, not by us, but that somebody from the Historic Committee did the research back. And so the intent was to have a historical marker with the kiosk and other informational to be provided so that if somebody was interested in the history of the property and the Underground Railroad, that would be part of the marker.
Okay.
I don't know all the history of the property, but that was the intention.
This proposed historical marker, will it identify the developer who destroyed this property and took away the historical features that existed before the development went in?
Well, we certainly can put their name on it if you would like.
Sure, if you'd like to, yeah. I think that would be, and will it reflect that the developer is the one that developed this property that was once a stop or believed to be a stop on the Underground Railroad?
Well, the stop is not there now, so this developer is not the one.
Of course, it's not. Slavery got abolished in 1860, whatever.
This developer did not remove what was there when it was the Underground Railroad. So I don't know who it was who would have removed it when it was the Underground Railroad, but this developer would be preserving and putting a marker on there to be able to appreciate the historic relevancy. No, your question to me was, will the developer who took away what was the historic aspect of it, put his name, and that wasn't us.
It's a historic aspect. So don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say the developer took away the Underground Railroad, because the Underground Railroad doesn't exist anymore. I think we can all agree upon that. It went away 150 years ago.
We can all agree about that, yes.
So we agree upon that.
But the structure that's being removed is not the historical, is not the Underground Railroad stop. The stop is somewhere elsewhere on the property. It wasn't in that house.
I thought there were aspects of the structure that were part of this. I thought there was an investigation that was done, and there were aspects.
The house does not qualify for being on historical registry.
Now you're changing the ball. Like, listen to me. I thought there were aspects of the structure that are on the property that were believed to have been part of the Underground Railroad. Am I mistaken about that?
My understanding that the property was a stop, not the house that is there.
Okay, my understanding was that part of the structure was that.
That was not my understanding.
Has Lower Saucon Fire Rescue reviewed this plan and done any investigation and analysis as to whether or not these roadways that are being proposed are sufficient for the fire apparatus that this township has so generously purchased for them?
Not to my knowledge. I don't believe that they would be involved until the land development phase, because typically that is when the plan is sent to the fire and potentially emergency services.
So the zoning officer mentioned that you would need to remove a significant amount of foliage to accomplish what you're intending to do here.
And that is incorrect, because that's why Mr. Brown just explained that this is not an area where there's riparian that would cause that significant amount to be removed. It is grass, and we are putting trees in place of areas where there is grass.
All right, well, I'm gonna direct my attention back to the zoning officer. Tyler, hair's looking great. Which is it? Are you correct in that they're gonna have to disturb? I mean, you're paid by the township to watch out for the township's interest. Is it fair to say that, like you said earlier, that the significant amount of foliage will be disturbed, and they seem to be disputing that? So where's the truth?
they're gonna have to disturb the riparian buffer zone. I haven't made an actual site visit, so I guess I couldn't attest to what's in that zone, but, they're going to have to disturb that zone, yeah.
Tell me I didn't hear you right. You said you didn't go and do an actual site visit?
That's right.
You knew this was on the agenda, right? And it's literally right across the street from the township offices.
Right.
Okay.
Why didn't you do one, just out of curiosity?
It's not really typical for us to do an entire site visit for a variance application.
Okay. Even when it's across the street?
It doesn't really matter the location.
Well, it's a lot easier when it's across the street, isn't it?
I would agree with that, yeah.
All right, thank you.
It's haircut.
That's all I have.
Just haircut thing. All right, I just have a few questions.
Okay, Tom, you can have the floor then,
Yeah,
since
course,
you
I
asked so
never-
nice.
No, I never ask. What do you envision that these are gonna sell for? I wanna know what we're doing here.
Yeah, I think they would be $600 to $7,000 price point.
How many units?
21.
600 to 700K per unit.
12.6 million on the low end.
12.6 million. You bought the property for 500,000, or was it 700,000?
14.7 on the high.
14.7 on the high, 12.6. Well, and what, so I missed it, is it gonna be a homeowners association that's gonna take care of, everything?
Yes.
Okay. And, they're gonna plow the roads?
Yes.
The internal?
Yes.
They actually would own, the homeowners
Own it.
association would own it because
Yeah.
it'd be private roads.
Own it and plow it, right, private road, okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, I think Jason covered most of it, but Ms. Sturso, you could be more professional with Jason. You know, someone reached out to me. No, I'm gonna tell something that someone reached out to me early on in this and said, would it be better if we didn't have Kate Durso represent us? And I said, no. I said, you should keep her. I think she'd do a good job and she's professional, but I don't know, changed my mind now.
Okay, Priscilla, do you have questions?
Is that what you want to do?
I have questions. Now we're at this point now, and the 21 homes, I think this is the best option. I like the fact that you're going to be doing, and I apologize, I only looked at the drawings for the box. I didn't scroll over to the edge. But, so that was gonna be one of my questions. So I also worked with the historic committee on this project, and they would be more than happy to work with you to develop something. I can offer that.
And I know that the owner, when we had gotten the calls about information in the building that we made, so if they need to access it again.
Will,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm speaking for them, I'm the liaison, so we appreciate that. So I have to say, though, that the letter with the opposing, whatever your wording was, I agree with his letter, Tyler's letter. So I can't support that portion, but
would you prefer that we withdraw the interpretations and just proceed with the variance request?
I can't tell you what to do, but.
No. I'm just saying that seems to be
The hang-up.
the hang-up.
I am not comfortable with the interpretation part. I am more comfortable with, if you were to remove the interpretation and resubmit it, I would be comfortable with taking no position, but in the event the zoning hearing board were to grant variances, I would ask that they also consider placing conditions that would require connections to Town Hall Park, which you have via the sidewalk, but something leading to the historical kiosk and monument designed with input from the historical committee. Just basically memorializing what you've publicly, in good faith, offered, but just putting some more teeth behind that in asking for a condition if they were going to grant the variances. That's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have an issue with withdrawing the interpretations, and the zoning hearing is not intended to be till the end of August, so we have adequate time to, you know.
They canceled the other meeting for July.
I actually asked for it not to be on the July.
Okay.
One, because we didn't know what would transpire here, and two, I actually was gonna be away, so we waited for the August, figuring if we had some cleanup to do, we wouldn't have to worry about re-advertising and whatnot, so we can certainly get the revised in plenty of time for the advertisements to go. The advertisements, I don't know, Tyler, if you do the advertisements, but the advertisements wouldn't be going until what, middle of August, I think?
The advertisements are on the applicant. You're saying like the letters or the advertisement in the paper?
The advertising in the paper.
Oh, yeah, it won't be until later, yeah.
So we would have adequate time before the advertisement, and certainly before we know we have to send the letters, yeah.
So, Mr. Gazzian, what, if they're willing to withdraw that, do we wait for them to resubmit and then, or should we, is it appropriate if we're inclined to vote?
I think what you could do is if somebody wants to make a motion, to send a letter to the zoning hearing board indicating that the township council opposes the proposed interpretation and that the applicant has agreed to withdraw them. And then number two would be, if that's what you want, township council takes no position with regard to the variance requests. And then number three would be, they would keep the historical markers as they've already represented. And number four would be, they would keep their open space requirements as they've already represented. One could make that motion.
I'm gonna make that motion, just adding one more portion to I think it was number 3, about the historical marker, to make sure that there would be some ability for the public to view it and access it and work with our historical committee on design.
And I'll second that, thank you.
All right, so I think that was a good motion. I'm generally favorable to looking at this as a cluster development as well. We talked about that at length before, a couple times, I believe. That reduced the driveways, having all these homes with individual driveways, which is what is normal in this area. So,
Since Mr. Gazzian's giving a direction here, can you explain, Steve, exactly what the motion was?
Can someone repeat the full motion, everything
It
in
made no
it?
sense to me. It's been changed 3 times over.
It has not been changed.
It has. Then repeat
Because
it.
it was the first was gonna be against it, and then the second was we're gonna be against it as written, they were gonna remove 3 things.
we didn't make any other motions before.
What is the motion? Just state the motion for the record.
I did.
Somebody. Please, can you repeat it then? Just.
I will summarize it for you.
So you won't repeat it?
No.
Okay.
Because you're
$220 an hour, taxpayer money, he won't repeat a motion for us to vote on. He won't repeat a motion for us, $220 an
I'm gonna
hour,
ask for
and he
roll
won't
call,
repeat a
'cause this is
motion.
just a stall tactic.
Just repeat the motion, or summarize it, or do whatever.
If you were like leaving the dais and walking back and having conversations with other people while the other one was on the phone, you would have heard it.
No, I
It's
was
part
back
of
up
the
here, I
YouTube-
didn't understand it.
It's part of the YouTube channel, and this is just a delay and stall tactic.
What are you talking about, YouTube channel? What the hell is she talking about?
So I'm
so
asking
what's
for a
the-
roll call, that's all.
What is the
Yeah,
motion?
he's gonna do the summary of the motion, and then Victoria added the not supportive of the interpretation.
It has been
Thank
changed,
you.
so added something, yes, thank
She
you.
added an addition to it, but we
Thank
didn't
you,
have
so
all
it has
those
been
other, we didn't
changed.
have 3 other motions.
So the motion in summary format is Township Council, or the motion would be for the solicitor to send a letter to the zoning hearing board regarding the application, where number 1, Township Council would oppose the proposed interpretations, and the applicant would agree to withdraw those proposed interpretations. Number 2, Township Council would take no position with regard to the variance requests. Number 3, the applicant would keep the historical markers, provide access, and as represented in their earlier indications before Township Council. And number 4, the applicant would keep the open space and the other environmental items that they've previously represented to Township Council. That is the summary of the earlier motion.
What do you mean by provide access? Like the public can go on and look at the historical marker? Is that what the access is?
It was to make sure that there was, the ability for the public to access the historical marker.
Thank you.
Yes, to work with the historical commission.
Thank you, I understand.
Thank you. thank you for.
It's not that hard.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
$220 an hour, we got to beg for an explanation of a motion.
Mr. Benonis?
No.
Ms. Optoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Passes 4-1.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is 5B, to authorize the Act 537 update for the Meadows Road Pump Station.
So the Meadows Road Pump Station currently under construction along 412 right now. As I have mentioned to council before, before this pump station can service anyone other than the giant plaza that it is serving now, the township has to amend their Act 537 plan to identify the service area that will ultimately be served by this pump station. So due to the fact that it's under construction now, we really should get started on that.
If I could be recognized, Laura?
Yes.
Just for historical preference, when I first started going to the Water Authority meetings, we discussed the idea that the township would coordinate our Act 537 update with the pump station becoming online. And we budgeted for this in the budget as a line item at the end of last year so that we could have that accomplished. So this is just the next step in that line. I know that at least at the Water Authority meeting last night, it was represented that you've already had some contact and started looking at old maps and things like that. So I'm very happy that we can move this forward.
All right, well, I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
I'll make a motion and you can have your comment, Tom, that's okay. I'll make the motion to authorize Hanover Engineering Associates to update the township's Act 537 plan to reflect the service area for the Meadows Road Pump Station. Okay, Tom, go ahead.
So, are you aware of what we're doing now without the pump station? That we've been working with Hellertown and they've been taking some of it off-site. Are you familiar with that? How much is that costing the Water Authority? Do you know?
I don't know. My understanding is they were going to look at the cost for pumping. Was the other option, and then approach Hellertown to say, look, why, instead of us doing this, why don't you let us continue to flow until we can get our new station online? But that's the last step.
Victoria, you're the liaison, what's happening with that? Or are they removing the flow, or is Hellertown allowing us to use?
There's been a renewed agreement for Hellertown to do that.
How much?
How much?
When they did, I can't tell you the figure off the top of my head, but when they looked at the analysis and the cost, they had to compare the alternative, which was for us to truck the sewage ourselves and pay a company to do that. So both in the first instance, which I think happened more than 2 years ago, where they initially did the agreement with Hellertown Water Authority, and in the most recent updated agreement, both times they negotiated a favorable cost benefit to the Water Authority as opposed to the alternative, which would be to truck. So that's all part of the Water Authority's public meetings, and all of that information is available, but that's the outcome.
Right. Do you know how long we've been trying to build this pump station? How long? I have an idea, but go ahead, tell the public.
Since the late 1990s is when Ahold, which developed the giant site, came in and started the planning process.
Right. And why do you think it's taken so long, in your opinion?
Well, I know the authority looked at other options to eliminate the pump station altogether, go gravity through Hellertown to connect into the city, and they couldn't reach a deal with Hellertown, is my understanding. So that took a while.
Right. So for 25 years, Hellertown wouldn't cut a deal with us. They were shaking us down, and 25 years, at least, maybe longer. They've been shaking us down. And, you know, this is, you know, this is residents and taxpayer money. You pay your water bill, and this is what you get. Takes over 25 years to build a pump station because of, I mean, when I was on the liaison, I was trying to get them to move quickly on this and just get it done, just build it and be done with Hellertown on it. Bill Ross does not move that quickly at all. You know, I'm not sure what his qualifications for that job actually were.
My
but,
understanding
he's
is
been
that
there
you
for a
did
long,
not
long time.
attend the Water Authority meetings for at least 1 year prior to
No, that's not true.
removed
That's
as the
not
Water
true.
Authority liaison.
That's not true. That's not true. That's inaccurate. That's
It's not because
inaccurate.
Tom was in at meetings, you
That's
removed everybody.
He wasn't in
That's
attendance. I'm
inaccurate.
sure that you can check out the
They're still
public,
not.
you can check
Yeah,
out
you
the
can.
minutes and see who
Right,
attended.
Right. So that's the truth of the matter, is that Hellertown wanted to try and hold us up. Now, finally, we're gonna build our own pump station. And,
But after we've
but
already
at a
paid.
cost, it's a huge cost. Victoria, what is the current cost of building the pump station?
I didn't bring those figures with me.
You don't have
Because
them.
this
Is
isn't
it-
a Water
it's-
Authority meeting. The Water Authority meeting was
Brian,
last
do you know?
night.
Brian,
went
do you know what the current
They went
cost
through
projection is?
the figures. They're in the middle of.
Generally, how much does it
construction.
cost for a
One
pump
at a
station?
time.
Well, she's interrupting
If
me.
you're
You
gonna ask
recognize
me
me.
a question, you have to let
recognize
me
me.
answer the question
And you said
before
you didn't
talk
know.
over
You said
me.
you didn't know.
answer
No, I wasn't finished answering the question before.
Why don't you let Brian
As I
answer?
recall-
Jumped down my
As I
throat.
recall, when I left the Water Authority Board, I think they were up to about $2.5, $3 million. And that was a couple years ago now. With inflation, I imagine it's higher than that.
Yeah, well, there's other parts to it as well. The gravity to go from the current pump station down to the new pump station, and all the force mains required to get under the creek by the new bridge and up Meadows Road. So it's more than just the pump station. So that figure that you're remembering
Is low.
probably
Much higher, much higher. So again, this is township residents who will have to pay for this, probably anywhere from $3 to $5 or $6 million project, because again, Hellertown, you know, shaking us down, and you know, that'll be in their water bill. I'm sure they've increased it a little bit recently, I know, but I'm sure there will be big increases to come to pay for this full amount. But you're doing a bang-up job there on the Water Authority, Top. You don't know, you couldn't answer one question.
I'm happy to be
Couldn't answer one
attending.
question.
In light of the fact that there was no liaison attending.
Just showing up
You
doesn't
can't
do
even
the
tell us.
job.
You can't
You're
even
just
tell
showing
us.
up, you're not doing the job.
You can't even tell us. You can't even tell us.
That's
whether
enough.
this project is going to
That
cost
is
$3
enough.
million,
That
$4 million,
is all.
$5 million, or
I
$6
made a
million.
motion. Can I have a
She can't even
second?
tell us that.
I had
She's on
seconded
the
it.
Water Authority. She can't even tell us how
Okay,
many
Victoria,
millions it's going to
second.
cost
Can I have a
the
roll
township
call?
residents.
No, I haven't had a chance to
He hasn't
speak yet.
spoken. He
I got a
hasn't
chance to
spoken
speak.
yet
Hold
this.
on.
He hasn't spoken on this yet.
So Brian, let me ask you another question, if you don't mind. Ideally, to build a pump station, such as the pump station, the Meadows Road pump station, from beginning to end, how long would it take for that process to work itself out? I'm not asking what happened here, but I'm asking, in an ideal world.
An ideal world, why would we do that?
Because you live in your own world.
We don't live in an ideal world, so why would you ask that question?
In an ideal world, Brian, if you were engineering this and you were planning a time frame for this to happen, what would you estimate the time frame would be?
2 to 2.5 years if you've got real estate acquisition and you've got to look at routes to take all the pipes that go to it. So that wouldn't be outlandish.
So 2 to 2.5 years, and you said this thing has been talked about since the 1990s. 10 times longer than it should have taken. At how much over budget? Victoria can't tell you the price of it, and we're getting the old Hellertown shakedown.
Or she
We entered into a new agreement. Victoria acknowledges we entered into a new agreement to transport Lower Saucon sewage through the Hellertown system when this thing could have been done and built and completed without having the Hellertown shakedown and everybody paying more for their water, more for their sewage bill.
They would have
It's
needed the
remarkable.
pump station regardless. The property is in
you get
Lower
the
Saucon
shakedown. Would you
Township.
please have her stop
This
interrupting
isn't-
me?
She's interrupting.
No, we're
She's
not
interrupting.
having any productive conversation at all here.
You just
I
don't
want to
like
have
the
a roll call.
conversation, Lois. You just don't
This
like
all
the
happens
Representing and
after we
putting
gave
things
them.
in
That's what you
people,
don't- you don't
putting
like the
words in
conversation,
people's
Lois. It's
mouths,
not
it has to
opinion.
be corrected. It's not an accurate representation. Giant is in Lower Saucon Township.
She can't
The pump
tell us.
station needed to be done in Lower Saucon Township.
done?
I can't
She can't
tell you
tell
what
us what we're
happened
paying
25
now.
years ago.
She can't tell us what we're
but
paying now. She can't
irrespective
tell
of
us how
that,
much the project's gonna
The Water
be.
Authority,
And she's on the
4
Water
years
Authority.
ago, came before you with the request to go ahead and build their pump station. That's when the Water Authority
The blonde
chose to
donkey
move
strikes
forward.
again.
We are not the dictators of what the Water Authority does or does not do.
She can't.
You can attend a Water Authority meeting.
She can't
and
tell us the
I welcome
price.
everybody. In
She
fact,
can't
I've
tell us
said
the
that
price.
multiple times.
She attends
that
and she
people
can't tell us
attend
the
the Water
price.
Authority meeting
She
so
attends
they
and she
can
can't
get
tell us
the
the price.
information.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
Yeah.
I think
No, I think
to
we're
try
gonna
and
take a roll
argue that
call on
this is
this.
something
I'm
that's
not done asking my
happened in the
questions.
last year,
I'm not done
when
asking
it's
my
not,
questions. I'm
it's
sorry.
something that's
I'm gonna
been
ask my
planned for many
questions.
years. And it started under the prior administration, and now it's followed
now
through
it's our
this way.
fault,
It's just more of the same,
our
but I
fault.
think to use your time to disparage other people, to criticize the
Okay,
Water
Dana.
Authority and other municipalities is another derelict of your responsibility as a township council person.
Well,
You,
I really.
derelict in duty, you can't tell, you attend the
right.
meetings and you
We have
can't
a
tell
roll
us how
call,
much it's gonna
please.
cost. You're derelict in duty. You can't tell us how much it's
This
gonna
agenda
cost
item is to update
to build
the
this pump
Act
station. And you can't tell us how much we're
537
paying now
plan.
to get the stuff out of
We are not
Hellertown.
the
We're
Water
derelict in
Authority.
duty.
We're not
You
doing
attend
the
the meetings
plan
and you
for the
can't
water
tell us
pump
that.
station.
You can't tell us
You're
that.
pointing yourself
You can't
liaison.
tell
I
us
guess on the
that.
credential that
We asked
sewage
you-
comes out of your mouth. That's
Asked
your
you
credential.
asked you for
I
two
vote yes.
numbers.
I
We
don't
asked you
know
for
if we're
two
doing a roll
numbers
call.
and you
Okay,
couldn't do it.
that's
You couldn't
enough.
do it.
She
Two
doesn't have the
and you can't
numbers,
do it.
so let's move on. Let's
Right.
have a roll call.
She attends the meetings. She doesn't have the
Cordero.
numbers.
Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
I want the numbers. No.
Ms. De Leon? Yes. Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
I'll vote yes to authorize the engineer to update the plan. It's just a document, right?
Yes, that's what the.
Make a motion to replace.
I didn't ask you. I'm just speaking to the.
I make a motion to replace Victoria Optoff on the Lower
Second.
Saucon Authority.
Second.
Okay,
All right, there's a motion and a second.
item is 5C.
Let's talk about her absolute utter incompetence. in that
5C
role.
to award the bid for the Frederick Street and Yost Avenue reconstruction project. We received 6 bids for Frederick Street and Yost Avenue reconstruction project. The township staff is recommending that the bid be awarded to lowest responsible bidder, which is H&K Group Incorporated, in the amount of $219,157.25. So I'll make the motion to award Frederick Street and Yost Avenue reconstruction project to the lowest responsible bidder, which is H&K Group Incorporated, for $219,157.25.
I'll second that.
Before we have any further discussion, may I be heard?
Sure.
Just so Township Council's aware, although it doesn't necessarily affect directly the awarding of the bid, there's a series of documents that have not been completed yet. Some relate to a right-of-way based on a private party. One relates to an intermunicipal agreement. So if someone's inclined to amend the motion to award the bid as stated, but with all the documents to be drafted to the satisfaction of Township staff, that might be something to consider.
Do those documents have the potential of increasing this bid? In other words, there would be a supplement to this bid, or?
No, it wouldn't relate to the bid, it's just merely we couldn't move forward with the project because certain things aren't done. And we wouldn't want to be in a position where 6 months from now, if someone said, why didn't you ask? So we're asking now.
Okay, I understand, thank you. I'm just making sure we're not gonna get a supplemental bill that's gonna take the 219 over one of the other bids.
Well, I just have a question about, is there a time frame for this project? Because if we're waiting for private parties to agree, they may not agree right away. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, that's why I'm asking for this approval now.
Right, but, so it's possible, 219, if this private party doesn't come back and agree, let's say they don't come back for a year, or 18 months, just, they may need more than 219.
We may have to come back before you if the numbers change.
All right.
Correct.
But
Hopefully that will not happen. That's
if
why,
the
again,
numbers changed, we'd also then have the option to put it out for rebid.
sure.
Right. I just wanted to make sure, Steve, everybody knows, understands.
By accepting the bid, it's not binding on the township pending the outcome of this additional information.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Okay,
It's been communicated to Haynes and Kibble House, and they understand that completely
I don't believe it has yet. It's going to be after tonight.
as part of the agreement here. Okay.
All right.
so I'll amend the motion to include the statement that Steve made regarding additional documentation that is required.
Can you explain that, Laura, what he said?
I'll revise my second.
He's lost.
All right, can I have a roll call?
Wait till I tell the pickleball story. Oh, my God.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
De Leon?
Yes.
Miss Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Yes. This is what
Ms.
townships
Aptow
should do, they should
Cordero?
pave roads.
Ms. Aptow Cordero? Motion passes 5-0.
I told him.
All right.
Big, beautiful pickleball court.
5D
She thought it
is
was
discussion
squash.
and possible action.
Priscilla's asking where the pickles.
The June 3rd Bethlehem Landfill PADEP Municipal Waste Inspection Report. This was Jason's request.
Which one was this?
So what did you want to discuss on
We're on
this
D?
report?
Yeah, what I wanted to discuss on this is, you know, the three Democrats on this majority love to vilify the landfill. And here we have a report from DEP, and I know they like to second-guess DEP and say that DEP isn't doing an adequate job, and they have their cronies call all the time. But there are give me 1 second. Over 112 different categories here. And in each one of these categories include the following: daily general provisions, daily operations, cover slopes vegetation, revegetation, water quality protection, liner system, leachate treatment, record keeping and reporting, minerals and gas, recycling, special handling and residual wastes, bonding and insurance. Over 112 separate items have been inspected by the Pennsylvania DEP, and no violations or not applicable was found for each and every one of those. So every time they sit up here and they defame and they vilify the landfill, I would direct you to I would direct the public to consider not listening to these ladies, to look at what the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, who have trained engineers and professionals who look at these things and are trained to look at these things, and their findings. And the findings are specifically that there is absolutely no violation or no problem with the landfill's operations. Their words are lies, they're dishonest, they have landfill derangement syndrome, and it's true, Priscilla, it's landfill derangement syndrome, I know, it's a big term.
Yeah, what are you saying?
I'm saying you have landfill derangement syndrome.
And why are you saying that?
We're talking about the landfill
Because we're
report.
talking about the landfill, and
It's
the
an
three of
agenda
you.
item.
And
are up
what
here
is the
vilifying
purpose
the
of
landfill
calling
time
us that
and time
name?
No, I'm saying you have a syndrome.
Because you have
It's
the
a
syndrome, you're
syndrome.
sick.
And
You're sick.
you
Besides
can
being
identify,
lost,
you're a
also
doctor
sick.
now,
No, I
okay?
never said I was.
Tell me.
I don't pretend to be, and not even
Babble
a TV
yourself.
show. But you have you and others in this community have a landfill
You're a
derangement
doctor or
syndrome,
something.
and you refuse to accept the
He's not a
reality
doctor.
of the way this landfill operates. And I would direct your attention, if I could, to most recently, the strike
You're a
that occurred in
council person,
Philadelphia. You
derangement
see the
syndrome?
images of mountains of trash that are piled up on sidewalks, and that is the community that you would want us to have if you are successful in stopping the landfill continued operations here. That pays a lot of money to the township, a lot of money. Money that you're gonna use to pave that road that we just talked about, the $219,000. Money that you're gonna use to pay for all sorts of things, the police, fire services, everything. So keep in mind, public, don't believe what they're telling you. Look to what the state government is telling you, because those people at least have some credibility in these issues.
Right. Right. And now I'd like to be recognized.
Okay, Tom?
Yes, the Pennsylvania DEP has been The secretary of the DEP has been appointed by Josh Shapiro, Democrat, and has served for going on how many years now? A lot. It doesn't matter. And before that, it was Governor Wolf, also another Democrat. The DEP has no problems whatsoever with the Bethlehem landfill, is the bottom line. And because they run a good company up there. They run a good company up there. And we should be grateful to them that they take our trash at a reasonable price, and the cost of removing garbage from our homes is not exorbitant. Everybody's trash goes to a landfill. This is simply a not in my backyard issue for these people. And it's basically a not in my backyard for Victoria's parents issue. Although I guess they sell. Did they sell? Did they move that? I hope they disclose that there's a landfill close by and to the sellers.
Probably not.
But regardless of that, you know, the landfill is about a third of our budget. I think it's close to $40 million since 1999 the township has received from the landfill. If the expansion is approved, we will, by the courts, we will receive approximately another $80 million over the next 18 to 20 years. And that pays for our police, it pays for our parks and paving roads and expansion. So I want to thank the landfill for, one, being a great community partner, and two, for running a very well-run landfill according to the real experts, which is the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, not Priscilla, who, you know, hasn't worked in 40 years or whatever. She claims she's fatigued or something and collects benefits, or did.
Can you keep your comments onto the subject? Your personal comments are not necessary at all.
Derangement syndrome, I understand.
You know,
You got to cover up.
And when you look at any of the calls, complaints, they like to their calls and complaints. It's always from the same address, the same people that they've ginned up. That are just, again, they're in the not in my backyard camp. It's not that they don't put their trash. They do put their trash at the end of the driveway. I think they're so misled they think it just disappears when the can's empty. But no, it goes to a landfill. And it's better to expand existing landfills than to have to start new ones, which is exactly what would happen. And the DEP knows that. And I think eventually we'll get this expansion. Looking forward to many more years of the landfill doing business in the township. And thank you. Oh, yeah. The other thing was, what was her email? So we got an email from Kathy Pitchell-McGovern about, what was that, the trucks?
Yes,
trucks.
she's claiming that trucks, all the trash trucks going to the landfill driving by her house. They shouldn't be driving on those roads.
Right.
Which is,
you know, there's a limited number of trucks, just for residents to know. The host municipal agreement calls for a limited hours of operation and a limited number of trucks every day. And there's nothing that I've seen where that's been violated, the hours of operation or the number of trucks being there. Now, and there are procedures. This is something the public should also know. They'll complain about overweight trucks, but the trucks are weighed when they come in, and if they're overweight, they usually give them a timeout, meaning they make them sit there for, like, I believe it's an hour or something like that, before they can dump and be on their way to do whatever it is. And then second violations, there's a timeout or I think they prevent them from coming back for a week or so. I'll have to look at the host municipal inspection agreement to see what it says, but there are penalties when there's overweight trucks, and the landfill's not responsible for the overweight trucks. They're just taking what's in the overweight trucks, but it's better that they take what's in the overweight trucks than they refuse the overweight trucks, and then they send the overweight trucks back out in our roads to find another landfill somewhere or to take it somewhere else. So it's handled appropriately. It always has been. And, you know, when you see these people with landfill derangement syndrome, whining, and you remember, they're not the experts. The Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection is the experts. These three clowns obviously know nothing. And, you know, so thank you to the landfill for being a valued community partner.
Okay,
Can I go
Priscilla?
next? Yeah, thank you. So I'd like to bring your attention to page 8 of 17, under cover slopes revegetation, and the category is not determined, so not everything has no violation. And it reads, daily intermediate cover meets, and it gives the code, performance and design requirements, the code, and then it says remark. So this was added to their generic form that they use. Notices of violation were issued to BLC on February 8th, 2024, and February 10th, 2025, that both included a violation of 25 PA Code 273.233B1. BLC has responded to 2/8/2024 and 2/10/2024 NOVs. However, due to some continued flagging, odors observed in the southeast slope intermediate cover area, the violations remain outstanding until such time that BLC applies appropriate intermediate cover in accordance with 25 PA Code 273.233B-C. That's been going on since, if you want to use February 10th of 2025, all the way back to 2/8/2024. It's continued. This is supposed to be a professional company that's supposed to know how to run a landfill. And I bring your attention to page, and it starts with comments on page 14. And the conductor conducts, site tour. A moderate intermediate sewage odor was detected along Shimersville near the sewage treatment plant. A very light garbage and/or dead animal odor was detected along Johnston. It is noted that it was garbage collection day in Still City, which, to just jump in here, it's garbage collection day every day of the week in Still City because there's multiple garbage collectors.
Oh, in the township. That's the way it is everywhere.
It's everywhere, yeah, exactly.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
People generate trash, imagine that.
Absolutely.
And trash trucks come
So,
in.
and we allow private haulers to come in and collect trash
Amazing.
as mom and pop businesses to support. A moderate intermediate landfill gas odor was detected along Apple Butter Road at 907 from Schwint's Yard to the storage lockers, and a light intermediate garbage odor was detected at the storage lockers. Upon return to this area at 9:17, the landfill gas odor was light and intermittent, I can't say that now, intermittent, and detected just near the storage lockers, and a light intermittent garbage odor was also detected near the storage lockers. A light intermittent landfill gas odor was detected along Sherry Hill Road near Apple Butter Road. And then it says, see the odor patrol logs. So since this inspection, there has been 9 complaints. And you have to understand that there's a radius surrounding this landfill. So of course it's gonna be the same people all the time in the complaint log because it's within that radius. That makes sense if you understand that. Then it goes on to say checklist comments. Line item 17. Let's see, remark. A notice of violation was issued on 2/8/2024 that included, and I already said that, however, the violation remains outstanding. So I would think that's pretty clear English.
Can I just ask the officer to come over here because I'm being pushed by Mr. Carochi in an
What are we doing? Can we sit in our seats like
grown-ups?
grown-ups?
Meeting. So I would appreciate if we just recognize
She
people's
blocked me from
personal
getting
space
in.
and that
When
we
you
not
start?
we
When
not
you
push
start?
each
Takes up a
other
lot
in an
of personal
aggressive way.
space.
So I'm just gonna
You
make
just
a
did the same
public,
thing to me. Get
I'm
outta
making
here.
a public complaint that I was being pushed aggressively by Mr. Carochi by using the council chair. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry to
I'll make the
interrupt,
same. You pushed your
Priscilla.
papers in your
Go ahead.
computer on me too, so knock it off.
Okay,
Grow
so
up. Just grow up, all right? Stop being a child.
Jason, I have the floor.
Being so
I'm telling your
childish.
colleague to stop being a
Being
child.
childish.
You stop being a
She
child.
interrupted
She's
you. She interrupted
unprofessional.
you first, all right? I'm telling her to stop being a
She's
child,
child
Priscilla,
and
so that you can
unprofessional.
speak.
This is on page
You're really
15 of
fascinating.
17.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Let's see, continued
Blocked me
gas
from getting
odor.
back in here.
Well,
And BLC is reminded that cover shall meet the performance and design requirements. Again, this is a professional company
tunnel is
that should know all this stuff.
dynamite.
Need for additional flaring capacity when the gas to energy plant is not in operation. And then as I was going on to the checklist, it says, line item 22, remark, notices of violation were issued on February 8th, 2024, and February 10th, 2025, that both included a violation. BLC has responded, and however, the violation remains outstanding. This is in several categories. Line, let's see, line item 52, remark, notices of violation were issued that both include, I'm repeating myself, but this is continued in this report, which you didn't read. Notice of violations were issued due to the continued flagging and odors observed in the southeast cover area. Violations remain outstanding until such time that they apply appropriate immediate cover in accordance with the law. Now, you know, if they would do the cover, there probably would be less complaints about odors, but it's just simple operation of a landfill. So then, if you read it, I'm just going to reiterate that there's gas issues in the southeast corner. There's cover issues that I explained. There's additional tarping that's needed that's not being done. Continual flagging that's not being done. And odors in the southeast. These are definitely problems. So it's not a mockery sitting up here, but apparently my peers feel that way. But in addition, I'd like to take this opportunity to say that I also received pictures from different residents about the vultures. There's definitely vultures, and there's large numbers of them that go on people's property and perch, and they're picking at the roof, and they're doing a lot of things. Well, that's considered a complaint with DEP. So just like an odor complaint. So if you have issues with vultures, they're.
I don't want a picture of you, trust me. I don't want a picture of you.
Can I have some order here? Point of order.
That's your colleague. She's trying to take pictures of me. She's weird.
I already got you with the flag.
America.
So vultures happen to be a federally protected species, which I did not know. And DEP, according to Roger Bella, says that any complaints that you have regarding them on your property, take pictures and forward them to his office. And or you want to make an oral complaint, you can call 866-255-5. Can't read my writing. 5181. I have to look that up. Sorry.
Can we get that number again, please?
But that's not all.
Not done yet.
Stop.
Okay, the number is 866-255-5158. And it'll say, you know, their message and, you know, call back tomorrow. No, you wait. You wait on the phone and you wait and leave a message. So don't hang up and call the next day.
Don't hang
Report your whether it's an odor or you're complaining about the vultures.
Right.
And if you discover a dead bird anywhere, you're supposed to call the Pennsylvania Game Commission because they will come out and investigate to see if the animal's deceased.
Like the vultures? The vultures in your yard?
So, because that, you know, they want to track that.
Back to porta potty?
So, and the trash trucks, they're regulated by you know, I think, Jay, you sent an email about the map or something? Didn't you send something out? About the trash collection area? Never mind, I must have sent another email. We get too many emails.
Oh, yeah. I'm so funny, too many emails.
We get a lot of emails, so.
You don't? You blocked your email address from the township website. You don't get any emails.
The landfill has a plan that they're supposed to follow for their trucks to deliver trash to the landfill. So they need to do that. And I guess that's all I have to say on that.
Thank God.
Laura, can I be recognized?
For the record, it's not the landfill trucks.
Yes, Victoria.
It's like a private truck.
So I just want to reiterate the dog and pony show or the clown show that Mr. Benotis and Mr. Carochi decided to waste everybody's time with this evening. So the idea was that he would cherry pick.
Shut up and
the
move on.
idea was that he would cherry pick
one of the DEP reports and
Priscilla
try to
spoke longer than the
argue
both of us.
that the
Come on.
DEP reports that say that the landfill does everything wonderful, there are no violations, everything's beautiful and wonderful. That's exactly what they wanted to try to do, but the problem is they can't even find one DEP report.
Right here.
That's
This one.
yeah, that's the one that cites 2 ongoing violations that went on from February that highlight the odor issues. And we continuously hear he wants to try to blame residents.
highlighting your own
Oh,
odor
it's the
issues.
residents, they come up with odors. They're just cherry picking things. It's the same residents, complainers, NIMBYs, not in my backyard.
Yep.
The issue is if you read the DEP report, which I'm actually glad it's like part of the, it's part of our agenda this evening. Don't bother.
She was mad it was part of the dog and pony show. She just said it was a dog and pony show, and now she's glad it's part of the agenda.
I'm glad that you were
One minute it was a dog and pony show.
That you didn't actually read the comments.
One minute it's a dog and pony show. The next minute she's glad it's on the agenda.
I mean, we had 2 of them tell you that the DEP knows what they're doing, and I would appreciate being given the floor. So I'll wait till they're done. Are you both done? Because I'm going to finish my comment.
I'm trying to help you here.
Without being interrupted.
I'm trying to help you. Tom is using his mind as a weapon again.
Well, I'm going to sit and wait until you
Okay.
decide that you're going to not interrupt.
Move on to the next
Well, that's
item.
that's disrespectful.
Were you speaking? I'm sorry. Were you speaking? I'm sorry.
So when you read the comments, we have 1 and 2 over here say to you, hey, listen, these people are making up odor complaints. They're NIMBYs. They're all these people just trying to contrive issues with the landfill to make you all scared. What they didn't do was actually read, because if you read the comments, you'll see it's not somebody from the audience or somebody that has a biased opinion one way or the other about the landfill. It's a DEP inspector. And what does the DEP inspector, the one that Mr. Bonotis, Mr. Carochi said, they're the best. They're so good. They do everything. Well, the DEP inspector is the one that identifies the continuous odor. They're the ones that identified the violation. I don't come up with the stuff. I just read what the DEP says. So I think it's ironic that Mr. Bonotis and Mr. Carochi decided to put this on the agenda so we can highlight to you again why the landfill is a continuous issue in our township. It's sure they can come and bring us money, but what is the offset? At what point in time will people say, I don't want my township to be the garbage dump of the state? We have people arguing, oh no, you're not going to have a place to put your garbage. It's going to be like Philadelphia. That's what the 2 of them argue. Oh no, you guys aren't going to have a place to put your garbage. Newsflash, the Bethlehem landfill takes over 50% of their garbage from out of state. They're not here for our residents. They're here to make money off of out of state garbage. We have a Schrin landfill that's less than 2 miles away from the Bethlehem landfill. We also have the waste management landfill in Plainfield Township. 2 additional landfills in this county alone. So to argue that we're going to run out of garbage space, and oh my goodness, if the Bethlehem landfill was a good neighbor, they would actually just limit their garbage to our municipality and maybe the surrounding communities like Hellertown, and then we wouldn't have to expand, because you know what? We wouldn't be accepting 70% of our garbage from New York and New Jersey, and then telling the township residents that they have to eat it next time we want to do a big expansion. You can't have it both ways. Either you're going to be a good neighbor and you're going to do it responsibly, or we're going to go off and just make money off of the backs of our township residents. I don't think anybody in this township wants to see half of our township cut off and becoming a garbage wasteland. I don't think we want to have our Sandra Yerger Preserve become the smelling. I mean, you read the comments, it says that there's odor on Sherry Hill Road. Sherry Hill Road is less than a mile from the Lutz Franklin Schoolhouse and also the Preserve. So if you think that you're not going to have issues in our township and all of the places that we've put thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in to preserve and make us a quality place for people to come, I don't know what you're smelling.
but you're not smelling the landfill
It's a waste treatment center.
because you have nothing other, you have no
It's a
other
waste treatment
purpose
center.
other than to come here and tell
It's the
people
waste treatment center.
false information.
So you're smelling.
So tell the truth.
Yeah, I will. You're
read
smelling the waste
comments.
treatment center.
I implore everybody to read every comment on every DEP report, because it's not going to come from me or Priscilla or a resident. It's going to come from the DEP knows and the DEP inspectors. And they're going to be the ones that identify the ongoing violations. So thank you, Mr. Bononis, for highlighting the fact that we have at least 2 outstanding violations that have not been resolved, that deal with odor, that verify the odor is a DEP verified issue, and then we also have things with daily cover and vectors and everything else. So I appreciate it.
Right. So it went from a, just for the record, it went from a dog and pony show being on the agenda to glad it was on the agenda to ironic it's on the agenda. The other thing is, she claims to be an attorney. It's a violation of the Interstate Commerce Clause, the U.S. Constitution, to ban out-of-state trash. And she doesn't know that. She claims to be an attorney, though. Again, for the record,
that
it went
isn't
from a
what
dog
was
and
said
pony
for
show
the
it was on the
record. So
agenda
your turn,
to
you
glad it
already
was on the
spoke. We're moving
agenda
on.
to ironic it was on the agenda. She did that with her multiple personalities.
Moving to the next agenda item.
In about 15 minutes, she did that with her multiple personalities. Again, a dog and pony show, it's on the agenda. Glad it's on the agenda. To ironic it's on the agenda. To ironic it's on the
Enough.
agenda.
We're done. We're done with the topic. We're moving on. We're taking no action on that. 5E, discussion and possible action on removal of Russell Sutton from EAC for repeated and flagrant violations of township ordinances.
Make a motion to take no action on this agenda.
No, I make a motion that we remove Russ Sutton from the EAC. Second, that's the motion. That's the motion
His
being made.
motion was first and
No, it wasn't. No, and it wasn't seconded.
I seconded it.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, Susie.
The motion came first from.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It wasn't seconded.
A motion came first, and then that's what's before the floor, then it was seconded.
I didn't hear that.
Motion before you.
So here's from our own township manager. Our own township manager, Mr. Sutton, of his own doing, hired a contractor to remove numerous, perhaps as many as 15 to 20 trees, which he claimed, again, not verified by anybody else, he claims were dead, dying, or diseased. He did all of this, again, this is from our township manager, Mr. Finnegan. He, meaning Mr. Sutton, did all of this without filing for the appropriate permits. He needed to file an earth-moving permit for the areas of the tree removal, which he did not. Subsequently, he hired a land services company to submit a plan, and we'll talk about the plan later. But we then have a memo from Mr. Finnegan, from Tyler Mitch to Mr. Finnegan, and it conveniently leaves that part out. Okay, that's what happened first. Again, what happened first was Mr. Sutton, of his own doing, hired a contractor to remove 15 or 20 trees that he claimed were dead or dying. The neighbors dispute that, I believe. He did it without filing the appropriate permits. Well, how does Mr. Mitch's memo start? On February 10th, 2025, Mr. Solangen filed a complaint regarding the trees that were cut. That is not the first thing that happened. The first thing that happened was, just as Mr. Finnegan said in his email, Mr. Sutton cut down the 50 or 20 trees without a permit. That's the first thing that happened. Not that Mr. Solangen made a complaint on February 10th. Did you even ask when the trees were cut down, Tyler?
Excuse me, Diane Hollowell is trying to harass, it appears trying to harass Mr. Boland. She's leaning over and saying things to him. I don't know what's going on here, but she's trying to sit next to him. She's following him all over the audience.
I think we have audience members shouting out of turn also, so maybe we should just have an order for everybody in the audience.
Laura, get control of the meeting. There's a woman who just walked in who is approaching Mr. Boland.
Shouted and screamed. We have lots of things happening in the audience.
Leaning over and saying things to him. He clearly doesn't want to be bothered by this. So get control and pay attention to what's going on in the audience so people are not harassed.
All right, so Mr. Mitch.
Start with
Mr. Mitch,
Shut up.
when did Mr. Sutton cut down the 15 to 20 trees?
Wait, I missed what Mr. Bononis said. He had something very important.
I asked him to please shut up so I could hear Mr. Carochi.
Yeah, okay. Can you repeat your response? Because Victoria was talking.
That wasn't made clear to me the exact day. I know that they were working on February 10th or possibly the day before, but I don't know the exact day that it started.
But that was the first thing that happened chronologically in the story.
Sure, yeah.
But it's not the first thing on your memo, is it?
No, the memo serves to have the timeline that I'm aware of. I can't really include the days and times of the actions that I'm not aware of.
But you went out there, when did you go out there? Did you go out there February 10th?
No,
When did you first go out there?
I'm sure it's in the memo.
I don't see it in the memo. If it is, I
don't
missed
recall
it.
the day. I mean, I did go out there. I don't recall the day though.
But you'll admit the trees were either being cut down or completely cut down by February 10th of 2025.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. All right. So, and then Mr. Sutton and you were in a lot of contact. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, yes.
In fact, our township manager says, after numerous iterations at the request of Tyler Mitch, a plan was submitted and attached for review. So you spoke to him numerous times. It says numerous iterations here, that he had to submit a plan.
Right.
Right. And why do you think he didn't have to submit a plan?
Why?
Yeah.
Why do I think he did?
No. What was Mr. Sutton's excuse for not submitting a plan previously to cutting the trees down?
I don't recall if he actually had an excuse. I believe he just said that he didn't believe that he needed a permit to cut down trees.
And he's on the EAC.
To my
And he
understanding.
tells other people they can't cut down trees or they can't do this or that on their properties.
I suppose. I don't know what he claims.
Tell anybody
Right.
anything.
So and he's a big supporter of the three Democrats up here. All right. So the other part is, and then our township manager says, as you can see, the plan is deficient in many ways. I think the plan was attached to this email, or some of the plan was attached to this email.
Yeah.
Is that your conclusion as well? That the plan was deficient in many ways?
Yes.
Can you explain some of the many ways?
The two main ways that we're still dealing with are having the portion that was disturbed by removing the trees counted into the limit of disturbance. So when you're calculating the square footage that kicks in needing a grading permit, it's done by limit of disturbance. Mm-hmm. Typically, removal of a tree would be exempt from the ordinance because it's considered an agricultural activity, but if it's in conjunction with a building permit, it does kick in that requirement. So that's the first issue, is getting that entire area counted as the limit of disturbance. The second issue is the entryway onto the property. They're proposing to enter in off of Snyder Avenue, and the portion that they're proposing, they would have to clear out some trees and some foliage in order to actually access that section. So Jay had made the determination that they would not be able to do that because that's still considered the township's right-of-way. It's not on Mr. Sutton's property. So he would have to clear part of township property in order to access his property.
And did he start clearing that?
The last time that we went out, maybe 2 weeks ago, no, there was no clearing.
Has there been any disturbance on township property?
No, I don't.
At this point?
I don't believe so, no.
Since the last time you were out there, at least?
Right. Yeah.
Can you give the public because the public doesn't know any of this, give the public a sense of how much he disturbed and how much over the limit he was?
On a property of his size of less than 2 acres, I would have to look at the ordinance, but I believe it's something like 1,000 or 2,000 square feet that would kick in grading, and not counting that the limited disturbance that he has on the plan labeled right now is something like 6,500, and that's not counting the additional areas that myself and Brian are requesting he include. So that kind of gives you the general gist of it. He's
So
probably
he disturbed.
over that.
Is it fair to say he disturbed a substantial amount over what was allowed?
Yes.
Substantial by how many thousand square feet?
You're looking at right now probably 5,000 to 6,000 on the calculation right now.
Over the limit.
Over the limit that it would kick in grading.
So he disturbed this member of the EAC who tells other people they can't disturb land. He himself disturbed over 5,000 to 6,000 square feet that he was not allowed to disturb without a permit or an exception to our ordinances.
Right. Yeah. He would have to have obtained a grading permit in order to do that, and he has yet to actually obtain that grading permit.
And this would be 5,000 to 6,000 over the allowed amount.
Yeah,
And, he's done it, it's done.
Yes.
It's done, it's already disturbed.
It's the amount that would kick in the grading. So it's not necessarily that he couldn't disturb that area, it's that he did it without going through the grading permit first, where Brian can, and his team can do the proper review to make sure that there's no adverse effects on his neighbors.
Right, right. And then, okay, and also from Mr. Finnegan's email on July 2nd, 2025 at 8:21 in the morning. Mr. Sutton continually contacts staff wanting his permits and also calls Brian Coker at Hanover Engineering, leaving numerous messages. Now, you've told him the plan is deficient in many ways. And because he doesn't think the plan should apply to him, because he's on EAC and he's a Democrat, Mr. Sutton continually contacts staff wanting his permits and also calls Brian Coker at Hanover Engineering. Now, when he calls staff, obviously township residents are paying staff to answer his calls and to deal with them, right?
Sure.
And then he's also calling Mr. Coker, who bills the township, when he calls. And yet he's been informed, because it comes up earlier in the thing, that the plan has been deficient in many ways. Has he called you, since he's been notified that his plan has been deficient in many ways, how many times has he called you, would you estimate?
Probably
100?
I wouldn't say 100, probably 2 or 3.
That's it?
Since he's
Emails?
2 or 3 times?
2 or 3 times since he submitted the plan, which was maybe a month ago.
Okay, well, how many?
Rather abnormal.
This email is dated July 2nd. How many times since July 2nd have you spoken to him? Have you spoken? Because every time you speak to him.
I've spoken to him since July 2nd, but he did call me, but I didn't.
Okay, how many times since February 10th when Mr. Solangen made the original complaint?
I couldn't tell you the amount of times.
Over 20?
Over 20, yes.
Over 30?
Over 30, sure.
Over 40?
Sure, over 40. I mean, I've spoken to him a good amount of times.
40 or 50?
Email.
And you work for a company that bills the township correctly, and you bill for your time, right? Right?
Yep.
Your company bills for your time, and the township has paid your bills, correct?
Yeah, to my knowledge.
We're up to date? We're up to date on the bills, Jay?
That would be an accurate statement.
Okay, so over 40 calls by your own account, township residents have had to pay for this guy in EAC who's been told your plan is deficient in many ways. 40 phone calls, and this guy is still calling staff. What other staff has he called that you're aware of?
I believe that he's called Jay before. As you attested to, he's called Brian, even though he's not township.
Right, we got Brian. We got Brian on this. That he's calling Jay. Mr. Finnegan, how many conversations since February 10th have you had with Mr. Sutton?
I have had at least 3 email communications with Mr. Sutton. I can tell you, reference to Mr. Cucker, Mr. Cucker has forwarded the voicemails Mr. Sutton left. Mr. Cucker has not picked up the phone and talked to Mr. Sutton.
So to your knowledge, he hasn't billed us, even though he listened to those emails though, which takes time. So and then he forwarded to you. Do we know how many times that there were forwarded emails?
I have 3 forwarded emails.
Okay. Now,
or voicemails.
And how many phone calls to you since February 10th? From either Mr. Coker or Mr. Sutton?
Mr. Cucker has not called me to discuss this over a telephone. He has forwarded electronically the voicemails. And I have had 2 or 3 email communications with Mr. Sutton as a result of the voicemails left for me, because I'm the belief if you respond electronically, there's a paper trail, and therefore my words can't be distorted.
So you're also billing the township by the hour. How many visits have you made to Mr. Sutton's property or Mr. Solangen's property?
How many?
Visits, site visits.
I think I'm probably up to 4 site visits.
So 4 site visits that you bill the township your regular rate for. Right, and how long do those visits last?
I would say the first one, we were with the neighbors, and that was probably half hour, 45 minutes.
And Mr. Mitch was with you on all these visits?
Mr. Mitch was with me.
Also
on
billing the
that-
township
on that
township taxpayers for his time, correct?
That occasion that I'm referencing, the 45-minute visit was with his neighbors, and Mr. Mitch was with me. My 3 other visits have been by myself.
Okay. All right, so now we have Mr. Mitch, Mr. Coker, and our township manager spending time on that, this costing township taxpayer money, for Mr. Sutton, who clearly violated our ordinances and is still contacting staff. Mr. Finnegan, what other staff has Mr. Sutton contacted? You say in your letter, continues to contact staff wanting his permits. So who has he called? Has he talked to Molly? Has he talked to Stacy?
He has been in the office and talked to the receptionist, and he's also talked to Molly. I do not believe Carol or Stacy, to the best of my knowledge, have had a conversation with him.
How many times has he been to the office regarding this matter since February 10th of 2025?
I can only comment since I started, and I believe it's 3 or 4 times.
Okay, so he continually wants his permits. Can I ask, under what rationale does he want the permits, Mr. Mitch?
I don't think I can attest to his rationale as to why he should have his permits.
There is no rationale for it.
Why is there no rationale for it?
He hasn't really given a coherent reason as to why he should be able to avoid the processes that we've explained to him.
He just expects he can avoid the process because he's a member of EAC and he has 3 Democratic friends on council.
He's never said that to me, but
What is your thought on that? What is your insight on that? He's never said it. He's never said it.
insight as to why he thinks that he shouldn't have to get permits or anything. I mean, it's sometimes residents say things like that because they don't fully understand the requirements of the ordinance.
But he's been explained to that already, and he's still continuing, over 40 times, and he's still continually. You said you had 40 phone calls with him, and I assume you explained that.
But, I mean, I had, about 30 interactions with him, all their phone calls, emails, and I'm also talking about, when I spoke to his contractors, and I explained all this stuff to everybody as well.
Right, but he still continues to call.
Right.
I mean, I assume you explained that to him in one of your first 3, 4, 5 conversations with him, that he needed a permit.
Yep.
But yet there are 35 other communications. So why does he think he should be allowed to do this without a permit, or should just be issued his permit?
He's never really given me a reason as to why.
He just doesn't think it should apply to him.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suppose, right? That's what I suppose too. It's not a wild explanation or anything like that. I think you're right. I think you're right. So this person should not be sitting in judgment of other people when they come before the EAC with plans to do something, whether it's the 21 apartments across the street there that's going to need some variances, do some disturbing of property, because he doesn't think it applies to him. Because he thinks he has 3 Democratic friends on council, and they're not going to remove them. If someone should clearly be removed, it should be this guy. We remove people for not attending meetings. This guy says the hell with township ordinances, the hell with disturbing 5,000 more square feet than I should have. I'm going to do it, and I deserve to do it, and that's it. And I imagine they're not going to vote not to remove him. In fact, the motion that Victoria tried that thing before I got mine in, they clearly want to protect him. So they'll protect. What they're telling you tonight is, if you're a Democrat and support them, they'll protect you in whatever you want to do, and let you serve on boards that judge others, especially since you have their point of view. They won't remove you, but they won't remove you. So it's hypocritical. It's fraud. So now there's another thing here. It says. He says, Mr. Sutton's backyard, based on my last visual inspection, and this is again from Mr. Finnegan's, who'd been his visual inspection, has tree trunks and debris laying all over his rear yard, a township paper street, and at least one neighbor's property. So how did the tree trunks, he put, the email says trucks, but I think he meant trunks. I think he meant tree trunks, and debris laying all over his rear yard. Now, how did that get there? Did Mr. Sutton put that there?
I would assume that he was the one.
Or his landscaping company that did it for him, right? But at his direction, and the township didn't give him permission to put tree trunks and debris over a township paper street, is that correct?
That's correct.
He has no permission to do that. And this is the last inspection, it hasn't been removed yet.
To my knowledge, no.
Have we asked him to remove it?
No.
Why not?
He can't remove it because we have not issued a permit that he can continue the process of what he's attempting to do until he gets a grading permit and a permit to install his solar panels.
So now because he doesn't have a permit, we have a township paper street blocked with tree trucks and debris, is that correct?
That would be an accurate statement, but the paper street is also, has trees growing up in it, and some of the calipers, I would say, are about 3 feet wide, so it's not really blocking any public access.
No, Mr. Solangen's children ride their bikes out that way, out that side. Isn't Mr. Solangen's house there?
Not where the trees would be laying. The trees are laying between.
Just because it's 3 feet doesn't mean people don't walk and ride bikes, is that correct?
Where the trees are laying are not between Mr. Solangen's property and Mr. Sutton's. It would be between Mr. Sutton's and the gentleman who begins with Rick, whoever, I can't remember Rick's last name.
But Mr. Finnegan, your July 2nd email says, Mr. Sutton's backyard, based on my last visual inspection, has tree trunks and debris laying all over his rear yard, comma, a township paper street, and at least one neighbor's property.
That is
now, you're
correct.
just saying
That's correct. The paper street.
What neighbor's property is that? Is that Mr. Solangen's property?
Oh, it's the neighbor whose first name is Rick. Can you remember the gentleman's last name?
No, I don't remember his last name.
Mr. Solangen's property would be to the east of west of Mr. Sutton, and this individual's would be north of Mr. Sutton's property.
Okay. And then you end this email with, Mr. Sutton's actions are self-imposed, and you can ask this. Mr. Sutton's actions are self-imposed, and he's being treated the same as all applicants. You wanted to share this information so that everyone's aware where we stand on the issue, and everyone has the same understanding. At a minimum, and again, they won't do it because they're this guy is a political supporter of them, so they won't do it. At a minimum, this guy should be suspended from EAC until all of this is done. He either gets his permits and submits a plan to the township. There's no reason this guy should be judging others and what they're doing and making recommendations to this council when he blatantly refuses to abide by township ordinances. On your memo, let me see here. I had a question on your memo then. So we're other concerned that February 10th, the trees were cut down on or near February 10th. So now we're end of July, and this process is still ongoing. Right. And Mr. Sutton came to an earlier township meeting. He's not here tonight. For the record, Mr. Sutton's not here tonight, although he had plenty of well, listen, I may be taking some of Mr. Mitch's time that he is billing the township for, but I'm not contacting him 40 times. This is my first discussion with him. So, I didn't contact him 40 different times and bill the township on that. So give me a little leeway here. Give me a little leeway here. Give me a little leeway here.
Because we're just having.
This is the first conversation we've really had on this.
We're going to be writing a whole book.
Okay,
let's move on. The more she cuts me off, the more I'm going to talk. And you can gab all you want.
You're going to go.
You can gab all you want. You can gab all you want. I can tell you.
We're not micromanaging the zoning department.
You're not.
It's not our job.
I'm not asking. It's not micromanaging the zoning. This is about a guy on EAC that's judging others. Now,
EAC does not judge
Mr.
people.
Sutton, they make recommendations. Mr. Sutton did attend an earlier meeting, and you had an interaction with him out in the hallway? And what was that interaction about?
He was asking about what he needed to do to get permits.
Okay. And that would have been in February or March?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, I don't recall the exact date of the meeting, but yes.
So your memo goes from February 10th, although we know the trees were cut down before that, to now, it goes all the way to July 11th. And Mr. Sutton had an attorney, and he changed attorneys. His new attorney is Mr. Asti, right? Who didn't he represent Victoria and her family in the landfill lawsuit? If I'm mistaken, please correct me. I think he was. So now he's hired an attorney who is politically aligned with the three Democrats on council to try and get this resolved. And is a friend of Ms. Optoff Cordero and has represented her parents. So we have a conflict there too, I think. So Mr. Sutton, so a grading permit application was sent over to Hanover Engineering for a review. That was on June 10th. What was Mr. Sutton's response to that? Or his attorney's response to that? Hanover Engineering sent over a grant permit application, something he should have done in early February or January. So they sent one on June 10th. Now, you had been advising him he needs to make a permit application way before June 10th, weren't you? Right. You've been in contact with him. Yeah. So, I mean, part of these 35 to 40 calls, we're probably talking about a permit application that he has to file, right? Yeah. Right, okay. And he refused to pick one up, or did you give him one, or?
He had the application sheets, to my knowledge, and they're on the website, and, you know, I don't know why.
Can I just have a point of order? Because I think these questions have all been asked. You went through the whole timeline from February to now. You asked them a lot of questions. Can we just get to the point of whatever you're trying to make, and then
now I have one more point, and then I think Jason has one. So Mr. Finnegan informed Mr. Asti that access was virtually impossible and would not be permitted at this time. And that's access for what, Mr. Finnegan?
The plans that were submitted with the grading permit do not definitively outline whose property is whose property. So, as pointed out in Hanover Engineering's letter, June 27th, on page 3 under general comments, applicant shall demonstrate if they have allowable use of Snyder Avenue access. So they need to satisfactorily answer that question for Hanover Engineering based on meets and bounds where Mr. Sutton's property aligns with the paper street.
Well, in closing, I want to say I'm sorry the township staff has been badgered by Mr. Sutton, and I'm sorry that township residents have had to pay a lot of tax dollars for a matter that he should have just filed a permit for and have plans that met our ordinances or ask for an exception to the ordinances. But to have a guy like this making recommendations on what other people can do on their properties to council as a member of EAC, he should be removed from EAC or at a minimum suspended until he gets this all under control. And you know, the three Democrats here will defend him because, you know, he's hired an attorney they like. He votes the way they want him to on EAC. He supports them on the landfill. You know, and all this nonsense. But it's a disgrace, and he should be removed from really all township.
They said that 5 times already.
He should also be removed from that as well. No, Jason's turn now. So
that's what I said. Let's move on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do I have the floor, Laura?
Yes.
Just try not to interrupt.
Well, we heard public comment from Professor Drew Germanowski and I would like to ask him a question, but he seems to have skipped out of here to avoid the heat after he tried to cast shade for Russ Sutton.
People don't
And
come
he's-
here
he's
to
the
be
same-
grilled.
Would you stop interrupting me, please?
Can we just keep your comments without insulting people? How about that?
He's the one who knifed Sandy
we go,
Yerger
just
in the
say
back
insult, there we go.
figuratively, and removed her from the EAC.
Sandy
We have
resigned.
Jennifer Helton here from the EAC. She's sitting over here in T-Mac blue corner with Chad Hamburglar.
Trump Hamburger.
Chad Heimbacher. Maybe she could tell us what the role of EAC is.
No, this is not the place for you
Then I
to
will.
ask people
All right, then
questions.
I'll answer the question myself. In
We're not in a
Pennsylvania,
court.
Environmental advisory committees exist as part of many municipal governments and are made up of appointed volunteer members that work specifically on environmental issues. And just get away from me. Get out of my personal space, you disgusting person. Get out of my space.
I want a clarification.
Get out of my space
If
and stop interrupting
if you're
me.
reading from our township or just something off of like ChatGPT.
Go to the podium. She's a child.
Because
You're so unprofessional.
I'm just
You're an
pointing out,
unprofessional
if we're gonna be
You're an
reading rules,
unprofessional
I think where
child.
we started with is what the
Stop being
township
it. You're
rules
acting
are.
like a child.
And he's picking
You're
something
acting
off
like a
of,
child.
like Google search.
Start over. You're acting like
Google
a child.
search.
You're acting like a child.
It's a Google search. I mean, ChatGPT, which
So
one
you
was
gavel
it
her
that
for
made it to give
interrupting
you the
me.
information?
Okay, let's
You wanna
just move on with
but
the
you won't say
comments.
anything to her. You won't say anything to her.
We're gonna have a recess soon, and you can sit
You can
down
recess
yourself
all you
there,
want. I don't give a
mister.
damn.
Tom, can you
You
hear me?
won't interrupt.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can hear you.
So I'll start again before I was so rudely interrupted
Yes.
by
Childish.
a child. Pennsylvania environmental advisory committees exist as part of many municipal governments and are made up of appointed volunteer members that work specifically on environmental and sustainability issues. The committee's main function is to advise elected officials like a city council or board of supervisors on issues affecting the natural resources within the municipality.
Read from ChatGPT.
Shut up.
Okay, so,
No, you're not done yet. Now he's coming up here to speak. He had to leave there because she wouldn't let. She was badgering. Are you blind? You blind?
Clowns. So that's the purpose of the EAC, and it's very clear to me that Mr. Sutton does not have the requisite qualifications to serve in that capacity. It's a volunteer position, and he admittedly has violated the township ordinances that has required extensive township resources to be devoted to his nonsense. And not only that, we have this memo that, Tyler, you were kind enough to put together. Not only did you approach, so Mr. Sutton started this nonsense in or around early February of 2025. And you had some interaction with him with regard to that. And what does he do on March 7th, 2015, less than a few weeks after you got involved in this? You go out, you visit the property, and you find that Mr. Sutton had performed more work without a permit. And a stop work order was issued because of what your findings were. So not only did he violate it, he gave the collective middle finger to the township, and then you had to issue a stop order because he gave the middle finger to the township and said, I'm not gonna listen to what you're telling me to do. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I wanna do because I know I have cover from these three clowns that are on this council. So then we also have February 19, 2015, you, Tyler, to your credit, notified Nick DiPaolo of the Northampton County Conservation District of the activity on Mr. Sutton's property, and he indicated that a field inspection would be performed. Now, it's interesting here, right? So you're the one serving your role as the township zoning officer, and you're the one that notifies them. But if you go back, if you remember, folks, if you go back in time here, it's not that far long ago, what does Priscilla do? Because her neighbor, Rocky Vecito, has activity on his property that's legal. She goes out and she contacts the conservation district to try to get her neighbor in trouble, but she won't go after Russ Sutton, who is clearly in violation of the township ordinances here. She sits on her hand with her mouth shut and doesn't do anything about it, but when it's somebody that she doesn't like, for political reasons or whatever, she's quick to pick up the phone and call the conservation district to try to weaponize them, okay? I am on topic, so shut up.
Started turning to
Would you
insulting
stop?
other
Would you
council
just
people.
shut your ignorant mouth?
You know when she interrupts.
Can you
other
stop your
council
ignorant mouth?
people.
See, I'm touching a nerve.
That's enough
Right,
from
interrupt me 'cause you don't
everybody.
hear.
That's
So then
enough.
what do you have? You got
You're so
Priscilla.
smart.
While Jay Finnegan just a few weeks ago was on vacation, and what is she doing? Well, she knows Jay's on vacation, and what's she doing? She's emailing about a porta potty in Polk
What does
Valley
this
that's
have
back
to
up to
do
the
with
top.
the-
You know what, we're way off topic, and you are not making a point.
Yeah, I am
Make
making-
your point
here's the
and
point.
let's
Here's
get
the point.
moving
Here's the
on.
point, so shut your mouth too.
There is no
Shut your
point.
mouth and let me finish making my point
You
because
can
you don't
stop
like it.
telling me to shut
You
my
can stop
mouth,
interrupting me
okay?
because you're-
I am
you don't
running
have the
the meeting.
You're an ignorant,
Make
rude
your
person.
point.
Stop interrupting me.
Say that again?
You're an ignorant, rude person. Stop
And
interrupting me.
why do you say that to
Because
me?
you are ignorant and rude. You keep interrupting
Are
me.
you trying to hurt my feelings?
No, I'm trying
Does
to
it
get you
make
to
you
shut your
feel
mouth so I
good?
can finish
Are you
speaking.
proud of your words?
No, I'm actually embarrassed to be sitting up
Okay,
here with you because
well-
I think you're an ignorant, rude person.
Okay, great.
Intelligent.
Make
back
your
to Jay
point.
Finnegan.
You're not intelligent enough to understand this point.
While Jay's on vacation, Priscilla sends a message to Jay.
Can I
There's
just
a
call-
crisis.
I'm gonna call
there's
for a point of
crisis
order
with-
again, because
there's a
we're
crisis
off
with
topic.
vultures. There's vultures on the loose in Steel City.
Has
And why
nothing
are
to
there
do with
vultures
the
on the
agenda.
loose?
Okay, now we're talking about other topics
not.
again.
No, we're
Yes,
not.
you are.
No,
You're
we're
talking
not.
about
No, we're not.
vultures, you're
Because Russ
talking
Sutton
about
came in here-
porta potties.
No, I'm talking about the vultures because
So-
vultures roost in trees, and the vultures weren't a problem until Russ Sutton cut down the trees.
And porta potties have
No.
nothing to do
That's
with this
the issue.
agenda item.
That is not the
It is.
issue. The
How do you know?
vultures.
Are you
Oh my
an
gosh.
aviary
I've
expert?
seen
You know
plenty
about
of
bird-
vulture
now you're an expert. You're
pictures
an
over
IT
the
expert,
years,
and now you're a
okay?
vulture expert.
We're
What else are
moving
you?
on.
No,
We
we're not
had
moving on. I'm not
a
done. I'm not
motion
done
to
here.
take no
I'm not done here.
action to remove.
So you have
Keep talking.
you have a member of
Just keep
council taking up the
Call for
township
roll call,
manager's
Laura, 'cause they're
time
being-
while he's
they're
on
being disruptive
vacation.
and not following.
While he's on
Turning
vacation
red
complaining
over
about
here.
vultures that are
Okay, we're
in the
gonna have a
area
break.
because this guy cut down the trees where they live. The guy cut down the trees where the vultures live.
So let's.
They were never a problem
Do
before
we
this
know we
guy.
had the right motion? We're taking a roll call on the
Thank
motion
you.
to not take an action to remove Russ Sutton from
first.
That's
EAC.
it.
The
Shut it
motion
down
was
when you don't
made
like
by
it. Cover it up for
Victoria.
Russ Sutton. Cover it
We
up for your
spent
buddy,
enough
the Lorax,
time
who
on
put
this
signs all over
pointless
here
topic,
with your
and
collective
you are
landfill
not
derangement
getting
syndrome.
anywhere.
That's what it is, your landfill derangement syndrome. And you'll
Personal
provide cover for them.
vendettas. Can we have a roll call? Roll call.
Clowns. You people are so dirty and so transparent.
So much time up
The three
here.
of you look like that picture I saw of the porta potty at Polk Valley.
Ms. De Leon.
When I look at that, I think of you. It's a spitting image of the three of you.
Yes.
The three of you. Priscilla, when I see that, I see you and I think of you.
No, we're voting to take no action.
Voted
Hey.
yes. Did you hear?
Voted yes.
You voted yes to remove
Mr. Benonis,
Just to remove Russ Sutton? I'll vote
well,
yes.
the motion is to not take any action.
Take no action to remove.
I wasn't seconded. Who seconded that?
Did,
So
for the
left.
10th time.
No, these clowns that just want to cover it up. I'll never vote for their cover up. Transparency.
The cover-ups continue.
No.
Remember,
No.
remember,
Thank you, Mr.
and remember,
Ms. Orthoff-Cadero,
there's a candidate out here that supports the
Voting yes.
cover-up. His name's Chump Heimbuckler.
can't hear you.
Public
Raise your hand if it's a
benefit, I
yes.
would have loved to
Remember
give
when you vote.
some
Remember when you vote.
information
Remember when you
on
vote in
how
December,
exactly our
November, they're
township
covering
procedures
up.
allow
Gee.
for
Covering up.
removal.
Finishing the roll call.
Victoria's
passes
talking.
3-2.
Victoria's talking.
There you
Remember
go. You're
the
welcome,
November
Mr.
elections.
Sutton, if you're watching out there, thank your friends.
Yeah.
Thank your friends for covering up for you. Keep cutting down those trees.
Yeah, keep
We're
cutting
moving
them
on.
down.
Can you be
And everybody
quiet?
else, do whatever the hell you want.
You both be
Do whatever
quiet.
the
You
hell
are
you
not
want. There are no
recognized.
rules.
We are moving on.
Rules for me, not for thee.
Item 5F, reimbursement of insurance deductible to Gazuzian and Associates for an alleged Sunshine Act violation.
In court file number 48 CV 2024-4294, I was sued in my official capacity as Lower Saucon Township Solicitor. The township obtained.
Mr. Gazuzian, you are not close enough to the microphone.
Thank you. In
Let everybody
docket number 48 CV 2024-4294, I was sued in my official capacity as the Lower Saucon Township Solicitor. The township was also sued. Township obtained counsel. I was required or forced to obtain separate counsel through my insurance coverage. I paid a $2,500 deductible. As part of the case, the court found in favor of both myself as the solicitor as well as the township. There was a court order which has been part of the packet that's before you that was filed on May 14, 2025. I had to pay out of my own pocket the $2,500 deductible. I'm requesting that the township reimburse me for the $2,500 deductible that was paid.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Can I be recognized, Laura?
Yes.
Don't we go in order?
I
Don't
think
go in
that
order
it's-
anymore?
We can go in whatever
just go in
order I
alphabetical
feel like.
Whatever, free for all.
Free for all. Sounds
Black,
good.
go
I think
again.
it's imperative to just kind of do a quick review of how we
Oh,
get
yeah.
to this place.
Waste more time.
When we talk about things, instead of,
attacking residents and cherry picking people and trying to make examples of them. I mean, there's lots of people in our township that have different various zoning and codes violations, and we don't waste the township council's time and our staff's time and money to bring them each here before us and,
Mr. Sutton's
you know,
wasting our township staff
hang them
time.
with a noose. I don't do that.
Mr. Sutton,
Some
Mr. Sutton
people
wasted our
on-
township staff time, it's clear.
Some people on our council want to waste your time with that. But when we look at this, you know, from the very beginning, it was, again, another dog and pony show by Mr. Benonis and Mr. Carochi coming out here and crying wolf. Oh, no, residents, the township did something wrong. I'm not going to represent you. I'm not going to be a council person. I'm going to tell you to sue us. Sue us every time. Every time I get a chance, the second word out of my mouth is sue me, sue the township. Because we want to drive up legal fees. We want to waste people's time. We want to churn everything in the court system. We don't actually want to represent our residents. So what happened? Mr. Benonis and Mr. Carochi came out here and put on a big production. It was a spectacle. It needs an Academy Award, claiming that there was some kind of sunshine violation. And because they just love the landfill and they always like to feed them, they like to feed them like, speculation and things. They feed them and say, you should sue us, landfill, because they just violated stuff and you should sue us. So shocker, because I mean, every time Mr. Benonis says sue somebody, he gets the landfill to come and sue us. So he likes to bring on litigation to the township. He likes to cost us money.
Keep saying it.
So when he came out here, it's part of a public meeting, Mr. Benonis. You came out here and said you should sue us because there was a violation.
I had the township. I had the landfill.
So you said that in a public meeting.
Liar.
So as we move forward, I can't wait. As we move forward, it's again, the landfill sues us because Mr. Benonis claimed there was a sunshine violation. And guess what? It was laughed out of court. I know, they don't like to keep everything transparent here, but what's happening is he wants to drive our litigation costs, waste your taxpayer dollars on costing our attorneys to do things because he claims things that happened that never happened. There was never a sunshine violation. The court affirmed that any claim that the landfill had was moot. And in addition to that, it was unheard of that any landfill would actually, or any, I should say litigant, sorry, litigant equals landfill. Any litigant would actually sue a solicitor for actions taken by its governing body. So they went after Mr. Gazouzian. I don't know why, but Mr. Gazouzian had to defend himself in his individual capacity in addition to representing the township. So the court threw that out. The funny thing is, just a couple months ago, I think when Mr. Benonis actually attended the council meeting, because he didn't attend last council meeting, but the one before that, he started claiming, he was upset that, of course, these allegations were unfounded and that was thrown out of court. That was a decision in May by Judge Corey. So what did he do? He came out here and said, it's appealable. It's appealable. Make sure you appeal. Go ahead, appeal. And what happened? You did. You did.
I say that? Where?
So it was during the council meeting. I'm sure we'll pull up the minutes. So when that happened, what happened? They didn't actually appeal because it's what's called an interlocutory order. So everybody should know is you can't just appeal a decision that's in the middle of litigation. You have to wait. You have to wait till it's a final order. But they didn't do that. The landfill withdrew their complaint without prejudice. They didn't ask for a decision of finality from the court, Judge Corey, and they appealed. Well, shocker, we just got notice that in fact, the whole thing is going to get thrown out because they didn't follow procedure. So they're appealing again on something that's going to get thrown out of court, and the judge has indicated they didn't ask for a decision of finality, that his opinion was interlocutory, and that the case should have moved forward. But they didn't file an amended complaint either. Bottom line is, we're churning legal fees. Mr. Benonis is, he likes to talk about how he's a Mr. Fancy lawyer and all this stuff. He likes to, help all of his friends out. I guess he likes to help everybody because he's always telling everybody to sue. So here we go. Another appeal, another claim by Mr. Benonis that's clearly not correct. We see that Judge Corey ruled against the landfill, and I think it's appropriate that we reimburse our staff for their time that they had to waste on the allegations that Mr. Benonis did that he didn't get his Academy Award for. That's what I have to say. So everybody should know, we're winning, and Mr. Bononis is not. He's costing us money, so we can't wait for when he's off council.
I'd like a point of clarity, we didn't sue anybody, the landfill
Okay.
brought the suit.
Okay.
Oh, no, you
Victoria said, because she said it so well.
May I be recognized?
I had 3 people trying to talk at the same
May I
time.
be recognized? May I be recognized? Can you hear me? You're looking at me with that blank, dull stare. May I be recognized, Laura? Can you hear me and see me?
We're going in
I'm asking,
order.
may I be
Now we're not going in
recognized? You're
order?
just looking
Now we're
through
not
me.
going in
I
order?
can go in
Are you
whatever
having a
order I
spell?
want,
You're
and I
right.
thought
Maybe if
Priscilla
they're
was
badgering
asking.
you, you don't have
Do
to
you need emergency?
recognize
You can
that.
go next.
Thank you for recognizing me and understanding the question. It's very simple. May I be
Laws.
recognized? Mr. Gutsuzian, am I a party in the litigation against you?
You are not a named party.
Correct. Who is the named party in the litigation against you in the township?
At 2024-04-292, it's the Bethlehem Landfill Company.
Correct. I am not employed by the Bethlehem Landfill Company, am I?
I don't know.
Do I work for the Bethlehem Landfill Company?
I have no idea.
Have I ever disclosed that on my conflict report that I work for the Bethlehem Landfill Company?
I've never read your conflict report.
Okay. Jay,
something on
you
the
have my
agenda
conflict
today,
report. Am I employed by the Bethlehem Landfill Company?
Mr. Bononis, I have not read your conflict report either.
Okay. Well, I can assure you that I'm not, all right? I'm not. So that's a lie, all right? So, second of all, the order that was entered in this case, that was not a final order, was it, Mr. Gutsuzian?
Are you asking me my legal opinion as to whether it was? Because it was an order.
Was it a final order?
It was an order.
Was it a final order that is appealable?
According to Judge Corey? No.
Okay. Is that being challenged by the landfill?
That's it. The case is on appeal.
Okay, so the case is on appeal, so it's not a final order. Okay, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Case is on appeal.
That doesn't mean it's not final.
So it is a final order then?
No.
It's on appeal though?
One can appeal an order,
Then they
and
don't know
then
the
whether it's a
rules.
final order is a subsequent
All right,
determination.
so we can be clear that it's on appeal. So you're asking for reimbursement before this case has been fully disposed of, is that correct?
I'm asking for reimbursement in accordance with the judge's order dated, that was filed May 14th.
And the case has not been
And
fully
then,
disposed
pardon
of?
me, sir, and then the subsequent one that was filed, I believe, a day or two after that.
If and when you are found to be liable in this case for the landfill's damages in whole or in part, and assuming that these 3 ladies will be reimbursing you for your fees because they like to provide cover for you, will you agree to return to the township the $2,500 that they will likely be giving to you?
No.
Okay. Why not?
No. Simple as that.
No. So you're going to take the money, and if you're found to be liable, you're still not going to give the money back. Is that what you're saying?
Answer is still the same, sir.
Okay. Same answer.
Okay, can we have a roll?
So, Jay, you were kind enough to provide to us a summary here. Jay, you were kind enough to provide this summary, this spreadsheet, and I think this was requested by Victoria. And this asked for total legal spend by the township.
It was me, Jason.
Oh, it was, oh, okay. You 2 are so alike, it's hard to keep track.
Just the email, I guess.
Both
Yeah.
big.
So
Pretty
this
heavy.
request for the total legal spend in 2025, year-to-date, that would be through June 30th, Jay, or is it through the date that you prepared this?
It's through bills paid as of last Thursday, so whatever.
So about half the year, right? About half the year, is that fair?
Correct.
All right, so in the half of the year, is G&A Associates, Gutsuzian and Associates?
It would be an accurate statement.
Accurate or inaccurate?
Accurate.
So that's correct. So in 6 months, roughly 6 months, Gutsuzian and Associates have billed and been paid by the township $105,595. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And Mr. Gutsuzian is asking us now to pay him $2,500 for work that was done in his professional capacity for which he has been sued personally. Is that correct? Jay?
That would appear to be correct.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. There's no final order. Mr. Gutsuzian wants $2,500 more than the roughly $106,000 that he's received. And he's not agreeing to return that money to the township if and when he is found to be liable for the landfill's damages here. That's all you need to know. There's your tax dollars going out the door. But I do appreciate that Mr. Gutsuzian at least put his malpractice carrier on notice like I previously requested. Thank you for doing that, Mr. Gutsuzian. I hope that doesn't have to happen again.
Can I ask a question?
No, you can speak.
Maybe for Jay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So looking at the spreadsheet, the one for 2023 total, it has conditional use, $15,400. That's what we paid Link to do the conditional use hearing for the landfill. That went nowhere. Did Link reimburse us for that?
Yeah, I'd like to know. We had various lawyers doing conditional use and zoning in 2023 for the zoning ordinance that was thrown out by the court. And that was a final order, never appealed, and it was over $15,000. Did we ever get reimbursed by those attorneys for that?
Did you request it, Priscilla? You were on council at the time.
You should have. You were council
You're
president.
the one complaining about it.
No, you're complaining about it here. You're complaining about a $2,500 deductible.
I'm bringing that to the township.
You're complaining about a $2,500 deductible when you wasted over $20,000 on a zoning ordinance that was overturned by our prior solicitor. You never asked him for the reimbursement. You complain over and over and over again how we got rid of a solicitor when the solicitor wasted us $20,000, never mind the $250,000 wasted on library litigation. So,
I mean, do you have a hearing problem?
we're talking about, apples and oranges
Somebody
here.
says something
just
you
can't
don't
handle
like,
it.
you say, why are you yelling?
He yells all the time. I mean,
He just can't handle the truth.
Stacy, can you
You
turn
know
down the
what?
volume on a microphone?
You
Because it's
don't
really
get to us
offensive.
anymore, Jason. You're
I
just
want to be
like,
recognized after her.
you don't get to us anymore.
spoken yet.
You have an issue.
I'm good with the roll
I don't
call,
want to be
Laura.
anywhere near
You
you.
have an issue.
You do. You are the issue.
I'm good with the roll call, Laura.
No, I didn't speak yet. I didn't speek yet. All right, so,
Yeah, do you want to be recognized?
I want to be recognized, yes.
Okay.
All right, so how I look at this is, Treadwell officers were paid a little over $63,000 in 2023, and this is a solicitor with 20 years' experience. Mr. Goodsuzian had no experience as a township solicitor, none whatsoever, in 2024, I believe his first year here. And he billed over twice as much, $144,308, is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct, okay. And then he also had this Curtis and Heifer, I think they're the labor attorneys, is that correct?
No, that was the attorney that lasted about a week and a half.
Oh, that's right, all right, that's right, I forgot, the guy 18 days, right?
No, it was less than that time.
Less than that, they're one meeting, right, less than one meeting. Priscilla's
He saw the writing on
buddies.
the wall. He knew.
And Mr. Goodsuzian and Associates is ahead of schedule for that this year. It probably close to 200,000 or more this year. So much more expensive than Link with not nearly the experience. Like I said, Link was a solicitor for 20 years, and Mr. Goodsuzian had no township solicitor experience and all that. And what makes it even worse is like, Mr. Goodsuzian is a resident of the township. He's just like taking money from township residents and neighbors. It's unbelievable. Without any guilt whatsoever to ask for $2,500 more that he won't return if he is found liable. What other law firms are you affiliated with, Mr. Goodsuzian?
Okay, we're not having Q&A here.
Are there any other law firms that you're affiliated with that are receiving township funds, Mr. Goodsuzian? Any other law firms you're affiliated with that are receiving township funds?
From Lower Saucon?
Yes.
They would appear on the list.
Okay. What other law firms? All right, there are other law firms on this list. What other law firms are you affiliated with?
I am not affiliated with Eckert Seaman. I'm not affiliated with Clemens Richer. I'm not affiliated with Treadwell.
Okay.
I'm not affiliated with Curtis and Heifer. I'm not affiliated with Gallagher Bell.
Well, we had a right to know. What was it? We had a right to know that said where you chastise your I guess your office manager or Miss Ackerman about using. You wanted her to use another firm's email address for you. So you're affiliated with other firms?
Not with anybody that provides services with Lower Saucon.
Yeah. Do they provide services to Hellertown?
I don't provide services.
No. Are any other law firms you're affiliated with provide services?
I think, point of order, we're not discussing this topic that we have on the agenda.
Not answer. The cover-up continues.
I'm tired of wasting everybody's time here.
So there's a right to know email for everybody's knowledge. There's a right to know email where Mr. Goodsuzian chastises his manager, Miss Ackerman, for sending an email from that apparently is his email from another law firm. Apparently from another law firm, and I just have some questions about that. How he's affiliated with this other law firm? Does this other law firm provide services to Hellertown? Because there could be possible conflicts of interest.
Eckert Seaman,
and I would want to know if the township is being billed.
Nothing, has nothing to do with this particular case that we're talking about.
He refuses to answer these questions.
Said he was,
He refuses to answer these
he'd
questions.
reduce his
It's a
fees.
simple question.
Everybody get their comments
What other
in
law
because
firms
I'm
is
gonna
he
call for a
affiliated
roll
with?
call.
And again, Mr. Gutsuzian is charging us about twice as much last year, and it looks like it'll be almost three
I'm
times.
gonna call
as
for a
much
roll
this year.
call.
I just want to clarify that the motion was Ms. Soptoff and the second was Ms. De Leon.
That's what I wrote down.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, just pick two of them.
That's right.
They vote in blocks.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Benonis,
No,
Ms. Soptoff Cordero,
cost of doing business.
Mr. Carochi,
No.
Ms. De Leon. Yes. Motion passes 3-2.
Can we take a break?
$2,500.
All right.
Township taxpayers, his
Priscilla needs a
neighbor's,
break.
his neighbor's money.
Priscilla needs a break.
His
Yeah,
neighbor's money.
and I will call for a recess. The time is 9:18. We can do a 10-minute break.
10 minutes,
Thank you.
wow, nap time. And they complain us that the meetings go a long time. I tell you.
All right, so the time is 9:28. We're going to reconvene our meeting. We are at item 5H, resolution, oh no, we're at 5G. 5G is to accept the resignation of Sean Yongchuk from Lower Saucon Water Authority and the Parks and Recreation Board.
Get the hell away from me.
So
Make that motion.
I make a motion to move to accept the resignation of Sean
Stop putting her feet on me.
and the Lower Saucon Water Authority and Parks and Recreation Board.
To stop putting her feet on me. I can't sit here if she's putting her feet on me. She's a freak.
I think for the record.
Something is wrong with her.
I think for
Just
the
look at-
record.
She's laughing
I'm
about it. It's
laughing because
disgusting.
you said I put my feet on you. I would never
You did
touch
put your
you,
feet
which
on
I
me. You
didn't.
did put your feet on me.
So,
You're a disgusting kid.
for the record, you had Mr. Carochi and Mr. Bononis commenting on what my feet look like. So I said to Mr. Bononis and Mr. Carochi, and I think if you look at the video,
I
you'll
think
see,
we need to
I lifted my
do
foot up
our
and said, "Would you
agenda
like to
item.
see them?" So
Let's do our agenda
comment about
item.
my
I don't
feet,
care.
then
I don't
you're
care.
gonna get
I
to
don't
look at
care.
them.
You're putting your dirty feet on me or any other part of your body on me.
I made a motion. Can I have a second?
You've gotten much better at this.
I made a motion. Can I have a second? Priscilla?
You really have
Okay.
control. You
Can we
really
have a roll
control the
call?
room. Oh, no, I have a comment. On this one. This Sean Yanchuk, when was he appointed, Jay? To the Lower Saucon Water Authority and Parks and Recreation?
His his appointment on the Lower Saucon Water Authority was 1/1/2024. His appointment to the Parks and Recreation, which I believe is an annual appointment. The original was 1/1/2024, and the second one would have been at the reorganization meeting for 2025.
So he never attended a water authority meeting. Are we correct about that?
No.
Okay. So how many did he attend in 2024?
I don't have that.
Okay, what is
Okay,
the point?
so-
We're accepting
so
a
not only-
resignation from the board because he was unable to
They
attend.
appointed this guy 3 times, twice to Parks and Rec. The Democrats appointed him 3 times, twice to Parks and Rec and once to the Water Authority Board. He never attends meetings. Right. So
never attended the meetings
he
either.
never attended the meetings. And
resigned. He did the right
he
thing.
didn't resign on his own volition.
He did.
He didn't resign on his own volition. This agenda item, when it originally came out, called for us to vote to remove him. That was the
and then
original.
he sent in a
That was the
resignation letter.
original.
So I think we
That
should
was
just
the
vote on the
original one.
resignation.
Okay.
So the only reason they even have him removed, because they want people to vote the way they want, is because he didn't show up. But it was Bill Ross that wanted him removed from the Water Authority for not showing up at the meeting because it's tough to get a quorum sometimes. Again, this is another one like Russ Sutton. This is another one of their buddies. They appointed 3 times and was never attending meetings, or attending very minimal meetings, I guess you should say, and the Parks and Rec. So
The guy resigned.
yeah,
I
after he
wanted
was
to know-
prodded,
All right.
after he was prodded by Bill Ross.
Roll call.
After he was
Where were you
prodded
the
by
first-
Bill
Let's
Ross.
have a roll call.
Prodded by Bill Ross.
Mr. Bononis?
To accept his resignation?
Yeah.
Sure, if he doesn't want to serve, I mean, I wouldn't want to serve either with these freaks.
Ms. Zappa Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, and I guess on a side, we need to post for some vacancy on boards, so I guess
Pick
that's.
somebody out of a hat, one of your buddies.
How
Doesn't matter.
about
Pick somebody.
Okay.
we should put Russ Sutton on it. He
Item
follows a lot of rules.
5H.
Russ follows all these rules. We should put Russ
We're
on the Water Authority.
discussing Resolution
nominate Russ
55,
Sutton for
2025. That's been prepared to adopt a participant-directed deferred compensation
nominated
retirement
Russ for the
plan
Water Authority.
for eligible employees. The plan will be administered by Engelbert Financial Advisors, LLC.
I'll make that motion.
Any comment?
I'm ready for roll call.
Yeah, I don't know that we need any comment. This just gives the employees another option, so I think that's good.
I'm sorry.
Can we have a roll call?
Ms. Zappa Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Before I vote, Jay, can you answer a question for me? Does Priscilla participate in the retirement plan? I mean, she's been with the township for over 30 years.
Did I what? I didn't hear what he said.
She doesn't participate in the plan,
It's just
right?
insults, just ignore it.
I would ask Ms. DeLeon to
You don't know.
answer that question.
I didn't hear what he said.
In the township retirement plan, you've been with the township for over 30 years.
I participate in what?
In this plan,
The retirement
the
plan.
retirement plan.
No.
It's an answer, he knows the
You
answer.
know that, you know better than that, I'm not
I don't know
allowed to
the
be.
You looked at me like you were confused. I'm confused.
Because you're wasting everybody's time again.
I will vote
When you
yes. I'm just making sure that this is not something that Priscilla's voting in her own favor.
Nobody's spoken more than Victoria, so nobody's wasting time.
Okay, 5I is resolutions.
You are paid by the township.
Resolutions
How are you,
56, 2025 through 58, 2025 to authorize execution of commercial account agreements by council members. I'll make the motion to approve the resolutions 56, 2025, 57, 2025, 58, 2025 to update the commercial account agreements. The accounts are listed below.
I'll second that.
We have any,
Yeah, I'd like clarification on that.
Okay, if I could clarify some comments made earlier this evening. Okay.
sure.
The township's policy is, which supersedes the resolution, it requires 2 signatures on any check issued. It's also a 3-step process. There is a segmentation of responsibility. The assistant finance director prepares the checks, reviewed by the finance director, and then 2 individuals sign it. The 2 individuals that sign do not have access to checks, hopefully allowing for a system that does not lead to any type of fraud activities.
It's been like that for
Yeah,
years.
it's nothing new.
Nothing new.
Except for fear mongers claiming, oh no, somebody's gonna steal your money. So then you all like just wanna just follow the
Right,
leader.
can we do a roll call?
Because it never happens in Hellertown. You're right. It never happens in Hellertown.
Or the fire company.
Or at fire companies. It never happens, right?
Can we do a roll call?
Rochi?
No.
De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
You gotta love these people that ridicule the public for standing up and questioning whether there are checks and balances in place to protect the
You
taxpayer
know the checks
money.
and balances, you
bring it
just
up.
try to,
I didn't bring it up.
you
I didn't bring
claimed
it up.
that there's only
didn't
one
bring it up.
signer, you agree with
So
them,
you're
you
up, so
laugh.
you're not doing anything.
I didn't bring it up. Somebody in the public did. I did not bring it up.
You know what the rules are.
Yes.
You don't do
My
anything
answer
about
is
her.
yes, all right? My
Don't
answer is
expect us to do
yes.
anything to her.
Okay.
Ms. Optoff Cordero?
Not that hard.
Passes 4-1.
5J is authorization for president to execute the lease agreement between Lower Saucon Township and the Lower Saucon Township Historical Society. I would make a motion to authorize the council president to execute the lease agreement between Lower Saucon Township and the Lower Saucon Township Historical Society with an expiration date of 12/31/2045.
2045.
There.
It's kind of long-term, isn't it?
I think that's what it was before, probably a 20-year agreement before.
Well, was it or wasn't it?
It was.
It was.
It was a
Jay.
20-year agreement. Terms are all the same.
Price any different because price of everything was up? Free.
It's
$1.
$1, and council historically has waived
Yep.
utilities on an annual basis.
Oh no, I guess he's for double
Right.
charging.
Any other comment? If not, we'll do a roll call.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Yes.
Ms. Optoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
5K is the acceptance of proposal for professional architectural services from Phillips and Donovan Architects, LLC. Brian's not here to talk about these so much. Jay, do you want to talk about this topic? Because you probably helped review these, I believe.
The township, under Kathy Gorman, sent out a request for proposals for a professional agreement to design the addition to the Public Works garage. I believe I supplied council with 10 proposals a couple of weeks, last week, I believe, which has been reviewed by myself and Ms. Rogers, the Public Works Director, and we determined that Phillips and Donovan's proposal was the most cost-effective, as well as the one that would service the township the best in this. They have in the past performed other services for the township, so we were comfortable with having them continue in the addition to the Public Works garage.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to authorize the acceptance of the proposal for the professional architectural services by Phillips and Donovan Architects, LLC, to design the Public Works Garage addition for approximately $68,762, as well as estimating services to be performed by Estimated Systems, LLC, in the amount of $5,865. Additionally, I further move to authorize the acting township manager to execute both agreements associated with this project. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion on this? If not,
Going to have beds for the Public Works employees to take rests?
I can't hear what you said.
Yeah, my question was, with the design here, is this going to have a rest area for the Public Works employees? I know they like to take rests. There's a conversation several meetings ago about them having a no firehouse policy. And I'm wondering what sort of accommodations are going to be designed into this project.
Well, if you look through the agreements, you would see, yes, there is like a break area for them to do lunch and things like that, have their meetings, change.
I don't know if there's overnight beds. I think he was implying that there people were gonna take naps. I don't know. The only comment I have is I'm happy. I'm happy to move this forward. I appreciate everything that Public Works does. I'm sorry that this took so long. I feel that this was a project that should have been moved forward years ago, and other projects were prioritized over this one for some reason I don't know. But they're one of the most important employees that we have, and take care of the essential services to our residents. And I feel like it should have been dealt with years ago. But I'm happy that we're moving forward with it now.
Okay, anything else?
No, I'm just glad it's moving forward myself too.
All right, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Benonis?
Yes.
Ms. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
All right, 5L is to authorize execution of updated diligent corporation agreement.
I have a question. Why is this happening?
Board docs is no longer going to be a supported process. They are updating their platform. So for us to continue to do the design of meetings the way we do, Diligent, who is the owner of Board Docs, is setting up a different platform, and we need to update our agreement with them.
Okay, so oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were finished.
So if you notice, there's an asterisk on this because between when this went initially on the agenda and is now before you for approval and execution, Their agreement contained a 6% annual escalation charge, and I negotiated that down to 3% between when the documents were published on board docs and when it's now here for execution.
Okay, well, if we have to do this, we have to do this, but what's gonna happen to all the documents that are in board docs? Because I like the,
PDFs, they won't go away.
I'm sorry?
They're PDFs, they won't go away.
Everything migrates over.
Oh, well, that, okay, you said it better than I did, because I thought I had to go in and save
That's not
everything,
hard.
but no, okay, it migrates over, so.
All right, she's confused. She hasn't been in a public work or a private public work environment in years. She's at her home with her cat.
Can we stop the insults and just ask questions related to the agenda item?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? I recognize this vendor is affiliated with board docs. Have we looked at other options besides continuing a relationship with this parent company?
There is other options, but they are, based on my experience, more expensive and not as user-friendly.
So they're more expensive and less user-friendly?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job negotiating that down from 6% to 3%.
I joked with them I should have asked for 2.
Yeah. That's all right.
Well,
Whatever.
next year.
Now we can pay Steve, now we can pay Steve's
Laura, can I
$2,500
ask Jay a question?
fee.
Sure.
Jay, is there a way, like, moving forward, because you said, this is an annual agreement, so can we just, for the future, kind of plan and perhaps negotiate so that we don't run into like a, automatic renewal with automatic jumps in costs next year? Is there a way for us to?
Well, the agreement includes the annual escalation.
Right, so
Have to
can we
negotiate again.
renegotiate that,
She's
like, next
an
year
attorney.
it's gonna be up.
She's an attorney, she doesn't
right?
understand.
So, no, next year it's gonna be up for renewal again, is it not?
Would be with the 3% increase.
With the 3% increase, so I'm saying, when the time comes, can we negotiate that? Because there's also the
Sure.
30-day notice of cancellation, and we can use that opportunity to try and negotiate the terms, that's what I'm saying.
And everything in life is negotiable.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank God you said so.
God forbid I try to save us money, some of you don't.
All right, we had a second on that, correct? Stacy?
I know.
We had a second on the motion, correct?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Good job. Second.
All right, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Benonis? Yes. Ms. Optoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Did he leave?
All right.
Yeah, just for the record, we have Mr. Benonis left, I don't know, it's now 9:46 PM.
Thank God. Thank God.
Leave for good? Okay.
Thank God the records are accurate. What we do without Victoria?
5M is authorization to advertise 2025-2026 Fire Services Executive Committee meeting dates. Dates were published to be August 7th, September 4th, October 2nd, November 6th, December 4th, and then January 8th into 2026. So I move that we authorize to advertise our Fire Services Executive Committee dates.
I second.
Can we have a roll call?
Ms. Optoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0. Mr. Benonis absent.
With Jason absent?
Mr. Benonis absent.
She said it.
Okay, 5N is to award the bid for equipment and labor to provide tree cutting services. I'll make a motion to accept the bid in the amount of $7,065 from Snowscapes for tree cutting services through December 31st, 2026, until the funds are depleted.
Second?
She got you.
Yeah, I know, you can't, you're so.
Okay, any discussion?
Question from me.
No, I'm just looking at different
Priscilla
photos
did
and
a
text
second.
messages Mr.
Priscilla did
Carochi
a
has
second.
done with different members of the audience or people watching on YouTube, because it's so important to him to be a YouTube, celebrity. That's what's going on over here.
Priscilla did a second.
Yep.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Carochi?
Yes.
Hair down there.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Aptoff Cordero?
Whoever's texting Mr. Carochi and Mr. Bononis on YouTube,
Vote.
it's disruptive. I vote yes.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Bononis absent.
All right.
I wasn't so distracted by the text messages, I would have known what's going on.
6A is approval of council meeting minutes from November 20th, 2024 through June 3rd, 2025. I would suggest we just do it as one big bundle unless somebody has something specific about any specific one of these.
I just have one suggestion, and to continue putting the agenda in front of the minutes like we've done forever. So they have to be added to each one, so it's easier to look stuff up.
Yeah, when we put what it goes to the website.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, I think we should table this to let the public have more chance to read them. I think they're inaccurate in a lot of ways. And the public, when you only provide it to, when do they provide it to them? Monday or Friday? You have time for, how many months is this? 7, 8 months, 6 months?
Motion to approve
So,
all these,
they're inaccurate, and you're not giving the public enough time to read them and comment on them. And that's disgraceful. But it's par for the course with this Democrat majority, that, we'll see the election.
Roll call.
And it
I don't know if you
never
heard
was
Laura.
I heard a motion by Priscilla, second by Victoria. It looks like Stacy got that. Can we have a roll call?
Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Aptoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
No, they're completely inaccurate.
Motion passes 3-1, Mr. Bononis absent.
Please pass on to the staff, thank you for doing all this, because I know this was very time-consuming, and I appreciate it, so thank you.
And I will say, in the future, if you're saying that they're completely inaccurate, you need to be specific about what's wrong with them specifically so they could be corrected.
Yeah, we lumped in the financial report, so I'd like to know what exactly he has a problem with.
No, we just did minutes.
It was the minutes.
I think you lumped in all three, A, B, and C.
No, you lumped in all the minutes, the 6 months of minutes. Pay attention. You're as lost as she is. She did all 6 meetings minutes, right? You didn't lump in the financial reports, correct? Can you explain to her?
No, we're not gonna argue about this.
We're not arguing about it. She doesn't know what she voted on. She just voted. She had no idea what she voted on. She just voted yes. She thought she was voting for the financial report. She has no idea what she voted on.
Well, she's gonna vote yes for the financial reports.
How do you know? She doesn't even know what she's voting for.
Okay, can you stop talking back? This is enough of your rude behavior. 6B is approval of the April 2025 financial reports. I make the motion to accept the April 2025 financial reports.
I
have a second.
I'll second those.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Aptoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi?
No.
Ms. De Leon?
Yes. And I'd like the record to reflect that Mr. Carochi looks like he's leaving the meeting at 9:52.
He wants to socialize with members of the public.
Okay.
It's more important to him.
Passes 3-1.
YouTube famous.
Thank you. All right, so 6C is approval of the May 2025 financial reports. I'll make the motion that we approve these reports.
Second.
All right.
Ms. Ray?
Yes.
Ms. Aptoff Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Carochi is absent. Ms. De Leon?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. Mr. Carochi and Mr. Bononis absent.
Okay, so now we're into council and staff reports. Jay, do you
Thank you.
have something?
I think this might be a repeat from the last meeting, but the pickleball courts are open. They are being extensively used. And again, it was the idea of two former council people, Jen Zawacki and Mark Ingalls. The new website is up and operational. We're going to make a public announcement on August 4th that it's up and running, but we wanted to work through some issues. In considering its extensive redesign and additional information and stuff, we've only received 2 calls and 2 or 3 emails about content or missing information. So I think the transition has actually been very successful. And I want to acknowledge Stacy and Carol, who did a phenomenal job in getting this to the finish line in the last couple of months. And relative to the website, I just want to clarify one thing. The lack of individuals' email addresses on the website is actually now a new standard recommended by IT companies to reduce phishing. If you don't publicize it, someone can't mirror the email address. But what it does, this website, it would directs an email on a comment page for each members of the council and staff. So that email is directed, or that information is directed to the individual who is highlighted on the new website.
Thank you for that information. Too bad Jason and Tom aren't here to hear that, so they were mocking us before.
Jay, just so I'm, like, did any member of council ask you to remove our email addresses from the public's, the public website?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, and I think I in fact noticed it and emailed you and asked you why my email address wasn't there anymore, or that other email addresses for other staff members weren't visible. And so I think that it's important for the public to understand that this was something that was recommended to us by the professionals, and it would not be in the best interest of the township for me to go against that. But I will say, like, certain places where you have just the phone number listed, like the homepage, you could put in like that contact portal for them to submit a question there, and it would give them two ways maybe to submit a question without just calling. Like on some pages, you just have the phone number without a way to email.
General email maybe?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then like with the zoning page, I think we list Molly's name, but not Mitch's. But then later in a different page, there's Molly and Mitch. So maybe we could just double check the consistency. But I think you guys did a great job, and thank you so much.
That's a good idea, because I thought that too, but I never sent the email to her. But
I participated in the scoping meeting with the developer's traffic engineer, township engineer, traffic engineer, and PennDOT relative to the St. Luke's project on Lightsville Road. Again, by the time they get through all their permitting and their highway occupancy stuff, they still are targeting the spring of 2027 to open.
Okay.
In conjunction with the township engineer and solicitor, we're working on a data center ordinance. That seems to be a very hot button in a lot of communities, one that needs attention, and it's right now in the drafting stage. National Night Out.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, Jay. What do you mean by like a data center?
What the requirements would be for a organization to develop and build a data center within the township.
Okay, so we're looking into what that would mean for us?
Accent.
Or?
Well, right now, it would kind of be a free-for-all because we don't regulate it in any form, shape, or manner. So to get the requirements on setbacks, dimensional standards, height, all that stuff into our ordinance, we need to develop an ordinance. It's not currently in the ordinance.
Plus determine where we would place them.
Place it, what zoning district and stuff.
Oh, you're talking about adding data center to one of our zoning districts. Okay, now I thought you were talking about like some for our data.
It's a new and coming thing, and PSATS has been pushing a lot on that topic.
National Night Out, I don't know if I said this, National Night Out is Tuesday, August 5th, 5 to 8 here at Town Hall Park. Movies in the Park, the first event was successful. We have 2 upcoming ones on this Friday night at Steel City Park, which is Disney Monsters, and August 15th at Town Hall Park, which is Disney Mufasa, and they both start at 7:30 p.m. As mentioned earlier, now we have 2 openings on the authority and 1 on Parks and Recreation. That has been, or will be in the process of being advertised. The Landfill Committee meetings tomorrow at 2 p.m. in this room. As mentioned earlier on the, when Attorney Durso was here, they have withdrawn from the July zoning hearing board with no other applicants. We will not have a meeting because there are no other applicants submitted. And I want to take responsibility. When we did the draft of the agenda, the drafts all had the approval of the April 2025 financial reports in it, and when I edited the final version, they were inadvertently deleted, and seeing that one was from April and one from May, I thought it was appropriate to get the financial reports of the townships out as we transition from one finance director to the through to the next. I believe that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Priscilla, we'll start down at your end.
Yes, I have a couple things. Well, first of all, I'd like to just always say that don't believe everything you hear at these meetings because they're not necessarily all true. So take that with a grain of salt. Flooding, yes, was there terrible flooding like on Monday night? I know one road, Friedensville Road, was impassable at some point. I didn't know if any other roads were, but I don't know.
There were a couple of others, but it quickly receded.
Okay, and I'm going to read a pension report. Too bad Jason's not here. Lower Saucon Township 2025 pension plans, updated actuarial valuation summary as of January 1st, 2025. And this report was prepared by Municipal Finance Partners, Inc., presented at the July 15th meeting on Tuesday? Was our pension meeting? Tuesday. Lower Saucon Township continues to manage its pension responsibilities with diligence and transparency. The police pension plan remains in strong financial health with $11.48 million in actuarial assets and $10.75 million in liabilities, indicating a surplus. The non-uniform plan is stable as well, with $3.6 million in assets and $3.84 million in liabilities, reflecting a modest shortfall. Revised actuarial assumptions, such as lower than expected salary increases and postponed retirements, led to an updated 2025 minimum municipal obligations, or an MMO, for the For the police plan, the MMO rose from $360,304 to $405,409, an increase of roughly $45,000. The non-uniform plan's MMO increased from $130,461 to $172,720, up approximately $350,000. Investment returns ranging from moderate through actual amortization or consistent future financing planning. Consultant actuary Charles Freelander emphasized the principle of intergenerational equity. Payers fund today services. Report affirms that the township obligation both fiscal integrity and public trust. The summary is both, and then I'm going to comment on the Lower Saucon Township Retirement Fund to share some positive news. Retirement Fund, which is part of the Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs Municipal Retirement Trust. This fund township employees. As of June, for I can't talk now, for 12.7 million, steady growth and fiscal Pennsylvania municipalities, which came in at 11. Strategy remains diversified and risk conscious. Fixed income 30.5%, alternative investments 6.8%, such as real estate and infrastructure, and cash holdings 1.6%. Notable gains were observed in technology plus 23.7%, industrial 12.9%, engineering 7.5%. These areas were further bolstered by the performance of the stock, including Apple, Amazon, on the fixed income side portfolio. The Bloomberg aggregate bond index posted 10-year growth held steady at 2%. Due to ease, headline CPI measured a driven preliminary food costs. Unemployment remained 2% with wage growth to sustain consuming public resources. They underscore the benefits and proactive stability, decision making, and transparency. And that's my report from the Pension Committee. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we did have a meeting, everybody come out and a renewed informational diagram, I guess I would say, about usage of rise. If you those aren't allowed on the rail trail, if you're driving, if you're operating a bicycle or an e-bike, there are certain limits to how fast the e-bike can go on the rail trail. So just be careful about that, because a lot of times it's disruptive to people walking their dogs or people that aren't moving at the same rate of speed as those with e-bikes or any other motorized vehicle. There's also, I know people are concerned about things falling from the trees or issues like that, since we have a lot of dead ash tree. The rail trail has been on top of that and been working with the different municipalities, if it is a municipal property, to try and resolve the issue. Thank you, Jay, and the Public Works utility poles that be taken care of on the rail trail. So that's the other thing that happened. There is no July rail trail meeting. I did briefly discuss during the meeting what we talked about at the Water Authority. They are in the middle of pumping construction as planned, and we are hopeful to have the Act 537 plan finished in time, because we know there are a number of residents that live over near the Giant that would benefit from hooking up to that pumping station once it's online. 37 plan. There is a landfill meeting tomorrow, so I encourage everybody to come out and concerns or other issues that they may have. If they want to promote something, they're welcome to do that. Much it. I did want to say, the last thing I want to say is to thank our fire, public works, and police for all of the work they've been doing in the hot summer, especially with now the weather events being like flash flood events in Texas. I know it's like making everybody scared here. I just want to thank them for putting themselves there and protecting our residents.
Okay, thank you. If you can hear me. She mentioned about the, on the rail trail that need to be removed, the old poles.
Correct.
Okay, if there's any artifacts, like different, things embedded in the poles, like from the railroad, that we were trying, and save, what to call them, different, like objects along the rail trail that operated the trains, back then, and something. So if there's any, like, little letters, or, you know what I'm saying, things, if they save them before they dispose of the poles, the Lower Saucon history. They may not be anything on them, but I'm just thinking. Thank you.
All right. I will give my report. So just so he knows, even though you didn't see us here at council, doesn't mean that we're doing nothing in between, because we are plenty busy. We were getting ready and trying to organize for starting up our official executive committee. So the first meeting of that, as we went through tonight, is going to be on August. It's going to be here. With Lori feedback from us, and we'll be meeting with them again. I don't remember the exact date.
July 31st. Thank you. I forgot all about that.
Okay. On different ideas to make more information about different areas. Our next meeting, July, via Zoom. It's a small group. The EA is a small little subcommittee, so we need to discuss our bylaws on them to make them on public protection classification and BSEGs, building effectiveness, things that affect how your fire get out.
Right.
Determine rates for different areas. So, information. I also have a survey for residents to take regarding opinions on doing a ag management for the whole state. So New Jersey. So we want to get some feedback. Sets webinar on tiny homes and doing regulations for them, since I don't have that addressed at all. And let's see, Steve, do you have a report?
I do not.
Ryan left.
We're moving forward, so if you're interested in planning, that's next Thursday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so now we're up to public comment on either agenda or non-agenda. Do we have anybody for?
And Slavic Lower. Black River flooded. I think that the EAC needs to focus on real. There are real problem environment here. Someone was talking about a group coming in and doing some health of the streams. Actually, if we have too much flooding, we're going to erode and the roads that are there. So I think that maybe for the township to tell a company that does business here what they can and can't give out as far as bags is ridiculous. It's absurd. As far as it's just, you guys are on a national level of like trying to emulate. If they put that apartment building there, it's going to just be the runoff that came down 370 the day of that storm, crazy, off the mountain. It's coming off the mountain, it's coming down Ellis Drive. So there are things that we could distinctly ignore it and then act like, you know, there's no problem. We have a problem with this. Why is everybody upset about this? And there are people along Black River Road and Bingen that had their properties damaged from the flood. So really, let's concentrate on things.
Dave Boulan. Let's see here, a couple of things. I wanted to do a rating on what, but there were some really standout things. And one of the standouts is at the end of this dais here. His name is Jay Finnegan. And all I can say is kudos to you, not only getting down to 3%, pages up and running and doing it sharply. And yes, I was one that called in with a question. Me too. Just so many things. The pickleball court, giving credit to other people. He was there, he paid attention to it, does all the right thing. Got the minutes. 6 council meetings worth of minutes. Didn't ballyhoo, didn't go like some of the council members. Gee, can you write some minutes up for me if I ask you? All right, he just got it done for the public. 30, wonderful. Unfortunately, sign. Well, did it say others need to sign on the Fulton Bank agreement? And by the way, there were 2 Fulton, I think 2 of them. And that gets a little goofy too. One of the things I do ask is if you change the agenda, please highlight what it's changing, what you're picking up or dropping, okay? And so far, Lower Saucon has been a very honest township. What I find disturbing is the Russ Sutton issue and the way and you need to clean it up. I'm talking to the council today. Good things. Well, that's the top of the heap. That's the A+. The bottom of the heap is an F- for Laura Ray running the meeting like it's just not even existent. She just keeps on going and makes the meeting, then turns it into a diatribe against everybody. Not a good thing, okay? Especially when that same person offered some special agreements for people to sign about integrity, honesty, and the like. That's my comment. And I'm going home. Thank you.
Okay.
I wasn't going to speak, and it's been a while, I'm sorry, but when I'm down at Giant, people come up to me and tell me, why aren't you speaking, you know, at those clown shows anymore? And I retired now, so I can stay here. Right. And I'm thinking about with these policemen, you know, maybe you can get them mats that they can. So I was at home watching this meeting, and they kept bringing up Mr. Gazouzian's fee of $220. Am I allowed to ask?
Same rate,
Same rate.
It's the same rate.
And I heard that, you know, it's a shame what happened down in Philly with all that trash. Does anyone know if any of that trash is going to be coming up to our landfill? Is that a question too? And let me say, I have a whole bunch here. Victoria, if you do feel that, Mr. Carochi, please do what I did. I had to fill against Mr. Bananas for things like, you know it hit you, heed my warning, I will roll over you like you've never seen before, trust me, I'm warning you now, that's my last warning. So everything, I have it all there, the times in the minutes. And I do have to say, I did make them famous in California. I have a friend who works at the state Supreme Court in San Francisco and showed him videos of these meetings. And they are in shock that these men are actually lawyers, and they could not believe that they would not be barred after saying things like to fellow council members, like, shut your ignorant mouth, you freaks, you rude person, you're disgusting pig. Like, he's upset. Like, did he hear what Jason said? So thank you, ladies, for putting up with all that crap. It's very obvious to the taxpayers out there that they make this into a clown show and they love disruption. And thank you for the pickleball courts. That's awesome. All ages and all sexes of taxpayers can play there. Not like our, $3+ million ball field that's only boys and of a certain age. So thank you very much for that. And the new website, I was on that today. Thank you for working on that. It's awesome. And you're doing an awesome job. And I don't understand why these guys are leaving the meetings. Like, all right, thank you.
Okay.
I just want to, just because I know I did say on the record for the police to note the aggressive pushing of the chair. I do want to note, in addition, because it has to be a report now, that I was given the middle finger twice by Mr. Bononis in an aggressive manner, and I find that to be extremely harassing. And I don't think that a middle finger belongs anywhere on the dais, but certainly not between council people.
You coming up for the last word? Yes.
The only one that put my name in the paper. Now you'll know who I am.
It's just for spelling purposes, but thank you.
Go ahead.
From a reflection to Anne Marie Slovak, who wanted to complain about the flooding in the EAC and that the EAC should review stuff and actually maybe try and do something about it. Maybe she should have been here 20 years ago when the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board and the other people, and Bononis for one of them, approved buildings, streets, and whatever else went on in this township before I came to meetings. I don't see what the EAC is going to do about fixing flooding. And as far as Bononis goes, I guess I was told don't take the bait. Just leave him alone. He was a piece of crap when he came in. He'll be a piece of crap when he leaves. And he won't change. And as far as the current council, don't become Hitler. It's really up to the people in the stores whether they want to use plastic bags or not. To start banning people to things is just wrong. I live in America. I'm an American. If I want to use a plastic bag, I'll use a plastic bag. You know what I mean? If you ban plastic bags, what are you going to do? Then have Mr. Officer come arrest me because I took a plastic bag to a store? Or the store gave me a plastic bag so I could leave with my groceries? There's other things to worry about in this township. All I was going to do is sit through one of these meetings. As far as the website, I don't remember being briefed on it, but I guess you did a pretty good job. My wife worked out some bugs because I couldn't get in board docs. Our program blocked me. And I showed you the picture last week or a month and a half ago at the last meeting when on my thing when it tried the thing. I was gonna send it to these two and. Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I was curious. But I didn't try it at home. I had other, I got a life at home and things to do. So, was I happy with Russell's actions and what he did with the trees? Absolutely not. It's one thing to be honest, it's another thing to be two-faced. Don't be a hypocrite in life. If you want to curse, curse. If you want to go to church, go to church. And don't be a liar. And don't commit perjury in front of a judge and corrupt the district attorney and the Northampton County Courthouse. And let again try and put me in jail again. Y'all have a nice night.
All right, I think everybody that was here spoke, so The time is 10:29. I'm going to move to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Just adjourn, period. Don't need a vote.